presentation of ESPN, home of the college football playoff, semifinals on New Year's Day.
Ball State and Buffalo ready to go here at Ford Field as championship week begins right here in Motown tonight. This is a rematch of the 2008 MAC championship game that Buffalo won. They were underdogs. This time around, the Cards are the underdogs. Ball State won the toss, and they deferred their option to the second half. And Buffalo will start with the football. This is Cook on the return. And Ron Cook, it's not close to the 30-yard line. It's going to be the running of the Bulls tonight here, Rocky.
Yeah, that's what they do. Run the ball. They run it very, very well. Two great running backs. We talked about Jared Patterson, but Kevin Marks is another great running back, a great 1-2 punch for the Bulls.
345 yards rushing per game. And there's Jared Patterson, needs just 212 to break a school record for rushing in a career. It's a possibility he could have that before the fourth quarter. No shock, they run it on first down. They run it 72% of the time. He gets it across the 30-yard line. Kyle Van Treese, junior out of Stone, Ohio, is the starting quarterback. A very smart junior, Rocky. He has total command of this offense, and he knows what his role is.
He really does. He's not going to try to do too much out there. You don't like the game manager title, but that's what he does. As you said, knows this offense inside and out, and he gets the ball to the playmakers.
Play fake. He's going to throw for the first time, and it's a strike for a first down and a big play. Antonio Nunn inside the 20, lowers his shoulder, and he's out inside the 15-yard line. They don't throw it a bunch, but Van Treese is accurate.
So Ball State all week, guys are going to run the ball. We got to stop the run. Second play from scrimmage, they find their best wide receiver, Antonio Nunn, on a little slant route. And it just shows you how deadly this offense can be. Early in the season, Clay, against Miami, Miami kind of stopped their run, forced Van Treese in this passing attack to go win the game, and they did.
Maybe catching Ball State a little off guard. They're going all in to stop the run here tonight. That's a gain of 54 yards. They go back to Patterson in the ground attack on the right side. Van Treese only threw 7 passes last week, Rocky, in the game against Akron. I mean, that would bother a lot of quarterbacks. It doesn't seem to bother Kyle.
No, he just wants to win. He wants to be a part of this team. He was a punter last year at times when he didn't win the starting job, but now he's the man in command, and again, he just wants to lead this offense and have success whatever way possible.
We've made a lot of history this year with Jarrett, with our first ranking in program history. Looking for more history tonight. Here's Patterson cutting it back, gets it inside the 5 and close to a Buffalo first down. So far, a very impressive opening series.
And we'll get in this as it goes on here, Clay, but it's the zone running attack. That offensive line will just kind of all up, student body right, and then just leave it to Jared Patterson to find that little crease, and that's all he needs, just a little bit of daylight, and he puts that foot in the ground, and he is ahead fast.
One of the best O-lines in the group of 5. Third down and short, and they are going to have it. There's Patterson, and first down and goal to go for the Bulls.
You can see Ball State loading up in the box. They're going to go without some safeties, put some more linebackers on the field. Bryce Cosby, number 5. He's the safety, one of the best tacklers in the MAC. He is the last line of defense. He's got to be the eraser if that running game, Jared Patterson, Kevin Marks, does happen to get in that second, third level.
Good unit for Ball State under defensive coordinator Tyler Stockton, 30-year-old Notre Dame grad. First down and goal to go from inside the 5, and we've got our first touchdown, and it comes from Jared Patterson. His 19th rushing touchdown of the year, which ties his own school record set last year.
And this is only his 6th game, 19 touchdowns, little handoff, and see, he's a smaller guy, Clay. He's only 5'9", 200 pounds, but you see he can lower the shoulder. He gets really compact. That's how I would describe him. He's just a compact ball of muscle and fast twitch fibers.
6 plays, 71 yards. And Patterson finds Pater. Alex McNulty coming on for the extra point. And Buffalo out to a fast start in the MAC title game.
We knew it was going to be Jared Patterson. He makes his presence known early in this game. 7-0 Buffalo.
Back in Detroit, the Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship on ESPN, part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. 6 plays, 71 yards. The big play on the drive, that 54-yard strike, Van Treese to none.
Yeah, second play of the game kind of caught Ball State sleeping a little bit. They're trying to stop the run and hearing about it all week, but you know, I still think, though, Clay, I'm of the philosophy that you just take away the other team's best option. I think at the end of the game, if you happen to lose, you say, look, we did everything we could. We stopped the run, and they used their second and third option to try to get us, but you can still see how deadly that Buffalo pass attack can be when needed.
Van Treese's best passing game was November 10th against Miami. 353 yards, 4 touchdowns. And like you said, that's why they're so dangerous. They can pivot on you in a hurry.
He was, and Van Treese was just absolutely surgical in the second half of that Miami game, 9 for 9.
This is going to bounce into the end zone. And Ball State will have a chance to respond. Boy, they've got a good receiver in Justin Hall, a senior out of Douglasville, Georgia. All MAC for the 4th straight year.
He's been doing it a long time. As a freshman, he played against Buffalo and made his presence known. Active FBS leader in receptions. Clay, I think he's a guy for Ball State's got to touch it 20 times a day. Get it any way possible in his hands, bubble screens, handoff, jet sweeps, whatever you got to do. Get it to number 11.
So 26 for blue, for white, number 11. They've all got to touch it a lot. And there's the first touch. It's going to be close to a first down for Justin Hall. The quarterback is Drew Plitt. Boy, he looks loose tonight. Before the game, he was out running pass routes, having some fun with the guys. Feels relaxed.
He does, and this is his second year as the starter, and he just really has command of this offense, knows where Mike New wants to go with the football.
Play action, has time to throw over the middle, and he's got Johannes Tyler, and just like that, the Cardinals into plus territory to the 45-yard line.
And Plitt has a ton of weapons to work with, Clay. We've already talked about Justin Hall there. We see Johannes Tyler, big-bodied wide receiver, makes a ton of contested catches.
There's a play of 21 yards, and now they go to the run game. A run game that is missing Caleb Huntley. This is Will Jones toting the football, the former walk-on. Star running back Caleb Huntley suffered a rib injury week 3. He opted out this week to prep for the draft. Big loss for this team.
They miss him. 7 straight 100-yard games for Huntley. No more.
Plitt snaps it to the outside. Johannes Tyler trying to spin free. Just shy of the first down marker, but you can see what Huntley brought to the table, and they haven't had him for several weeks. With that said, this team has been pretty sharp without him.
They've been pretty good, but Huntley, he was like a mini Jerome Bettis. Big barrel-chested guy, still had the sweet feet between the tackles.
They're going to move the chains.
And right now, partner, we're noticing Ball State tempo, right? That's something they've gone fast, they've gone slow, but you can tell early on here, they think they can get an advantage by keeping the pressure on, going quick against this Buffalo defense. If you watch Buffalo against Kent State, they had a little bit of trouble with that, with how quickly they were running plays and getting guys on and off the field.
Yeah, Kent State got close to 600 yards against Buffalo with that RPO look. Ty Evans spinning ahead for about 5 yards as we go down to Katie.
Well, guys, when Justin Hall heard Huntley decided to opt out, he gave him a call and said, regardless of the decision, you deserve a MAC ring just like everybody else. You helped us put in this position. You battled with me every day. We're going to go get you that ring. Hall says there's no hard feelings, just respect and appreciation for a guy that grinded next to him every single day.
You know, and when we talked to Mike New, he kind of echoed that.
He did. And his teammates seemed to be fine with it. There you go.
Here's a deep handoff. Ty Evans, a strong runner, 6 foot, 240 pounds out of Macedonia, Ohio. Huntley was certainly a workhorse. This is a guy who can be.
He really can be, and he kind of came on the scene once Huntley went down with the injury, which turned out to be a blessing because he got some momentum and got into the flow, and he's playing well.
I'm going to feed him again. Huntley had 7 straight 100-yard games to end his career. Evans, in his first game, picking up for Huntley, had a 100-yard game against Toledo, so he's certainly capable.
Right now, if you're Buffalo's defense, you got to know where number 6, Johannes Tyler, wide receiver's now going to the top of the screen. He is deadly in the red zone.
He's going to line up at the top of your screen.
I'll say trying to get the right personnel in the field here.
And it's a run. Justin Hall trying to cut the corner on the left side. This will be strung out to the sideline. Gets it inside the 15.
And when we talk to Buffalo, I mean, everybody we talk to, right, Clay? The coaches, the players, they said, we got to stop number 11. We got to know where number 11 is at all times. And I think that's a pretty smart move on their part. He's a heck of a player.
It's a 4-3 defense for Brian Borland's Bulls defensive unit. They've battled a lot of injuries, especially up front, but they're healthier now than they've been all season. And they feel like they match up pretty well against this Ball State offense.
They do.
3rd down and 2. Ball State trying to answer the Bulls' touchdown on their opening series, and they're going to have a 1st down.
And this is a big confidence booster here for this Ball State team. They give up the touchdown pretty quickly to Buffalo, but now really running the ball well, getting the ball to the playmakers. Good balanced attack right now so far for Ball State.
That was Jones, the former walk-on. Now a huge part of this offense. 1st down, goal to go. They're going to throw Plitt to the end zone, and he's got Tyler. You called it, partner. That's the guy in the red zone, and the Cardinals respond with a touchdown on their opening series.
You know the ball is going to number 6. Can you stop it? And he has done this time and time again. He's so physical, like a basketball player. He just jumps up, walls the defender off with his back, and comes down to it. And what an answer by Ball State. Critical drive for them early to answer. They're fired up down there.
I don't know if there's any player over the last few weeks that's been hotter in the MAC than Johannes Tyler. 1 touchdown at least in 6 straight games as Jack Knight tacks on the extra point. And what a great start. It's been a short season in the MAC, but a great ending in Detroit tonight.
The Rocket Mortgage MAC Championship is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. For the personalized playbook on home loans, Rocket can.
Some great players over the years coming out of this league. And Jared Patterson is a superstar in the making. He is not long for amateur sports.
That is true, and we tried to get a little indication this week, right? We tried to bait him, hey, what do you think you're going to come back? We're focused on this game and all that, and maybe Katie will find out for us after the game what his decision will be. But as I said in the open, Clay, you know, if this season doesn't get played, it's been tough for all these players and coaches, but how exciting is it watching a guy like this? A couple months ago, not many people in America knew about Jared Patterson. Now a lot of folks do because of how well he's played.
He grew up about 15 minutes away from FedEx Field in D.C. Grew up watching the Washington football team, and you know that's his goal at some point. Buffalo going to get it for the 2nd time in a tie game. Here's Cook. Good return man, all conference, and he gets it close to the 40-yard line. And here's a look at how the standings wrapped up. It was a truncated 6-game season. Buffalo had 1 game canceled. The matchup against Ohio canceled because of COVID, so they didn't get their 6 games in, but 5-0 for the first time since 1980 when they were a Division III program. Ball State back in this title game for the first time since 2008, but they haven't won a championship in 24 years.
No, they haven't, but they lose their opener against Miami, then rattle off 5 straight to get here to Detroit. It's been a special season.
So after a 71-yard touchdown drive in the opening series, Van Treese and the Bulls going back to work, and he throws again, and it's his 2nd completion. That's the tight end, Zach LaFave. Lance Leipold just loves using tight ends going back to when he was a Division III head coach.
Zach Lefebvre, 6'6", 235 pounds. Had a ton of receptions early in the season, but then this offense just started running the ball so well and haven't had as many touches, but I like them getting him involved here early tonight.
Leipold, the MAC Coach of the Year, second time in 3 years. And Lance has won that award. Lefebvre goes to the right side of the formation. They throw to the left side, and that's Giovanni Ruiz. And he's out of bounds at the 46 for another first down as we take a look at the impact players, Rod.
We talked about Jared Patterson, but also Kevin Marks. Great player. He would be the starter on probably any other MAC team, but it's up to Ball State and Brandon Martin, Defensive Player of the Year in the MAC, and Bryce Cosby. As I talked about, that last line of defense, got to find a way to stop both Patterson and Marks tonight.
Yeah, you got Marks, who's averaging 102 yards per game, and he's the backup. Van Treese gets it into the hands of Antonio Nunn again, and that's a pickup of 8 on first down. He is wearing number 41 tonight, and that number is special in this program. It honors former Bull Solomon Jackson, who died in 2016. That number has a special magic, it seems, this year. Everybody who wears it has a big game.
You made that point this week as we were prepping. Everybody who's put number 41 on this week has had a great look. Giovanni Ruiz early in the season. Jarrett Patterson wore it against Kent State in one of his record-setting performances, and looks like Nunn off to a great start tonight with it.
8 touchdowns. I don't know if anybody's going to top that, wearing that number. There's Patterson just picking his way. You know, we've talked about the numbers for Patterson, but what quality just stands out the most when it comes to this man?
To me, of all the great things he does, the one that jumps out to me is his acceleration. He's patient, runs behind that line, and then once the hole opens up, he just drops it into 6th gear and leaves people. Like, his 0 to 60 is incredibly quick, and the defenders have a hard time catching up with him.
Lance Leipold talked at length about Jared Patterson, and he spent most of the time talking about his qualities that have nothing to do with football. There's another pass to Lefebvre. Gets it just inside the 35-yard line. He said when it comes to Patterson, there is nobody on the team that works harder or is more humble than Jared Patterson.
Well, what he said after his 400-yard, 8-touchdown performance against Kent State, they have practiced the next day, and he's out there running around on the kickoff team, and he's not even on the kickoff team. This guy's like the Energizer Bunny out there, and just a great player, warrior, takes care of his body, and really loves playing football here.
Second down and 3. And here's Kevin Marks. Always hard to bring down. He's going to be just short of the first down marker. Leipold, 29 wins the last 4 seasons, most in the MAC over that span. You talk about a great job building a foundation at a program that had really done nothing at the FBS level before he came.
And how about the recruiting? They've recruited all over the place, right all over the world. Players from Canada all over the place, but he's bringing those athletes there to Buffalo and really done a great job.
Quickly up to the line, finding a hole on the near side. There's Patterson. He's got the first down and more. A stiff arm there along the sideline.
And he reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew. I played against him and probably on a few Maurice Jones-Drew highlight films. But look at it. It looks like there's nothing going there with that run. And then boom, little jump cut to the outside. He's just so quick. He's small, so he's kind of hard to see out there for the defenders. And as soon as you do find him, boom, gone.
And this team will chew up the clock on you. It's already under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Van Treese, he's going to take a shot to the end zone, and it's caught. And that is a touchdown for Trevor Wilson. The redshirt freshman out of Tallahassee got behind the secondary, and it's a 24-yard touchdown hookup.
You can see early on, Ball State is daring Kyle Van Treese to beat him with his arm, and he is. Play action all downhill with Ball State. And look at that, just drops it in the bucket over top of one of the better cornerbacks in the MAC, and Antonio Phillips. Van Treese playing exceptional football right now.
7th touchdown pass for Kyle Van Treese. 3rd TD catch of the year for Wilson. Nolte adds the extra point. 8 plays, 69 yards. Ball State's defensive coordinator Tyler Stockton knows Cards have their work cut out tonight.
Journey is on. The AT&T Countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship, Monday, January 11th on ESPN.
Championship weekend is late this year. Still big, still nerve-wracking for teams trying to get into the college football playoff. The selection show is less than 2 days away. These 3 big games tomorrow on ABC, starting at noon Eastern with Oklahoma and Iowa State. But we're getting it started here tonight in the Motor City MAC championship game. Every possession so far has resulted in a touchdown. It's 14-7 Buffalo as the Cardinals get the football back. Evans on the return out close to the 30-yard line. The Sun Belt title game, unfortunately, was canceled. Supposed to happen tomorrow, COVID-related, of course. Louisiana and Coastal are declared co-champions. The Chants now, they need Cincinnati to lose tomorrow to possibly get that New Year's 6 invite.
And you said it, what an exceptional season for the Sun Belt in general. It kind of got the spotlight with a lot of team. Big Ten didn't come back to playing until into October, so it took full advantage, and Coastal picked to finish last in their conference, and they put together an 11-0 magical season.
I think you can say that for the group of 5 as a whole. I think all the leagues took advantage of the extra exposure they got.
They really did early on. But here, Clay, back here in Ford Field, this already feels like an important possession for Ball State, right? Buffalo has just moved the ball at will. Ball State answered last time. I think they got to do that here.
George Wallow made that last tackle for Buffalo. No gain, and now a sack. The first sack of the game, and it's Malcolm Kuntz, the big defensive end, maybe the best defensive end at Buffalo since Khalil Mack.
First team All-MAC and just an exceptional athlete, but he's got good hand work, right? He's chopping away at those hands, getting them off of him. Led the MAC in sacks last year. He's a Senior Bowl selection, and I think maybe their most draftable NFL guy on this Bulls team.
5th sack of the year for Kuntz. Now Plitt in trouble, throwing on the run, trying to find Tyler deep downfield, and it's broken up at the last moment. Gaddafi Wright, the huge outside linebacker, getting downfield in coverage.
And you have to imagine Plitt said, we got a mismatch here. We got our best wide receiver, Johannes Tyler, on a linebacker, but Gaddafi Wright can run. Great job not getting pushed around. That was the key there, because usually that's what Johannes Tyler does, but right there, Gaddafi matched the physical play.
That all started with the stop on first down.
It did, shutting him down early, forced a second and long.
George Wallow, a big defensive tackle, just a true freshman. They are so excited about his future at Buffalo. Now it's the rematch everybody's been looking for. Number 3 Clemson, number 2 Notre Dame in the ACC. Title game tomorrow, 4 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. The Irish beat the Tigers 47-40 in South Bend earlier this season in double overtime. Of course, Trevor Lawrence wasn't a part of it. He's been on fire since returning from COVID.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different ball game here this time around with the way Trevor Lawrence can stretch the field. Such a dangerous passer, and boy, what a game that was going to be.
How about Van Treese's start? 6 for 6, over 100 yards passing and a touchdown. But of course, he continues to lean on that excellent run game. As Kevin Marks gets the carry, tackle made by Brandon Martin.
And just an incredible 1-2 punch right now. You can tell Ball State, they want to stop the run, which is, I understand it, that's what you got to do, but it's leaving a lot of one-on-one matchups on the outside. Van Treese is taking advantage. And look at that loaded box right there for Ball State. Try running into that.
It's old school 4-4 defense. The Cardinals tonight. A few extra in the box. And Marks on the right side. A lot of operating room. He's going to bring up 3rd down for the Bulls. Kevin Marks, high school teammate of Keontae Johnson, the young Florida basketball player who collapsed on the court last Saturday. Good to hear about his health improving. He's now stable, breathing on his own. But despite that news, he went out and played the best game of his career last week, named the Mackey's Player of the Week.
Yeah, an exceptional year all around. I mean, heck, he had 182 yards on the ground last week.
He was in tears before that game. And blowout of Akron. Managed to put it together and had a great day on the field. Wrapped up quickly is Giovanni Ruiz. That's Antonio Phillips, the all-MAC corner, stepping up. Phillips is a guy who has NFL potential.
The head linesman said he got enough for the first down.
Boy, barely.
Barely. They're not even going to measure it. And look, Buffalo's going to quickly get up to the line here. Well, yeah, there we go. Take a look at this.
First review.
Ruling on the field of the previous play is that the runner made a first down. That play is under further review.
We'll take another look.
First look, it looked really, really close. Certainly too close to just give him the first down. That's why they're going to look at it here.
Matt Austin is our rules analyst here tonight. And he'll be joining us. What are they looking at here, Matt?
Well, did the ball get to the 50-yard line? The player's feet doesn't make any difference. When he completed the pass, was the ball across the 50? It makes it a little bit easier when you have a big line to go by. So that's what they're looking at. He was pushed back, but he gets all the forward progress from when he caught the ball. So when he possessed it, was he past the 50? And all the ball has to do is break the front part of the line.
On. Yeah, the yellow line was right on the midfield line.
Looked a little short the way I saw it there, but we'll take a look at it.
They gave him a first down on the field.
Which is important.
Tom Stapleton, our lead official. Jim Schaefer, our
After review, the
replay
ruling
official.
on the
This is
field
from
that
the
the runner made the line
Jumbotron.
to gain is reversed.
A little bit
The
better
runner was
angle.
down at the 49-yard line.
Well, I don't know that he got it.
Short of
they
the
gave him
first
the
down.
first
It'll
down.
be fourth down
I don't
and
know
one
that he
at the
got it.
49-yard line on the left hash, and the clock will start on the ready for play.
They are going to reverse this.
Yeah, and what happened was it was in his right hand. I think the ball is in the receiver's left hand. It gets across the plane there, but because it wasn't, now 4th and 1, it looks like Buffalo's going to go for it here.
They've had quite a bit of success on 4th down this year. They're 5 for 7.
Watch how quickly they get to the line, try to surprise Ball State.
Now we have movement on both sides now. Who's going to be the victim here?
Offside. Defense, number 0. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Great strategy by Buffalo.
Really
Ball
was.
State offside.
In that getting to the line quick like that, it just really puts Ball State in a tense position there because they know the run's coming and we got to get ready for it, and just cause a little bit of jump and a free set of downs for Buffalo. Great coaching, great execution.
Good discipline by the Buffalo offensive line. Joe Moore Award finalist for the best offensive line in the FBS. Jared Patterson wiggles inside the 45-yard line, close to the 40, and it's likely going to be the final play of the first quarter. It's been an impressive one for the offensive units of these teams. Buffalo has a touchdown lead and driving, looking for more after the first 15 minutes. It is the MAC title game, the first championship game of championship weekend in college football. (14-7) Buffalo here at the Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship, part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week on ESPN. Let's go down to Katie George.
Well, guys, during that last break, Ball State D-line coach Keith McKenzie reminded his group, if we can get vertical on these guys on a run, we need to do the same on pass plays. It's no different. Get vertical, be active, and get more push up front. Rocky, are you seeing any of that?
Well, that's the thing, Kay. It's hard because against this zone rushing attack is a defensive line. You don't want to get vertical. You don't want to create seams, but with the way Buffalo is passing the ball, so they're kind of in a passive mode right now and not getting after the quarterback.
What a spin by Kevin Marks. And brought down inside the 25-yard line by Jimmy Daw. Made perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle.
Clay, he just runs hard, doesn't he? Just watch, it's just down hit. He's more of a slasher. Think Terrell Davis and that little fancy spin move. He runs angry, runs with a lot of aggression.
You know, you and I earlier were talking about Van Treese being unselfish, doesn't want to throw the ball any more than he has to. He knows his role. You could say the same thing about Kevin Marks. He's been very unselfish, not asking for more touches. Fake to Patterson. They throw to Nunn. Makes the catch and goes down at the 15-yard line.
And this Ball State defense is on its heels right now, Clay, because they don't know what's coming. Is it a run? Is it a pass? Okay, let's go attack the run. And then the slant comes in behind us. Just an incredible job of being two-dimensional by Buffalo, making it tough on the Cardinals.
It's a Ball State defense that came in very confident, playing at a high level. 29 tackles for loss and 8 takeaways in the last 3 games, all wins. Patterson cuts it back, and it's going to be close to a Ball State or Buffalo first down. And it is. Let's go to Matt Berry in the studio.
To the 15-yard line, first and 10.
All right, Matt. Thanks a lot. Keep us updated. Clay Matvick, Rocky Boyman, Katie George here in Detroit. Buffalo leading 14-7. Van Treese looking for another touchdown pass. And it's incomplete. He's looking for Nunn again. Are you surprised that they've come out throwing as much as they have here in the first half?
Not surprised, but I think it's just a good job of reading the defense, reading what Ball State's doing. You can see out there they're packed up, trying to take away the run. Heavy box. Okay, let's not just try to run into a brick wall. Let's loosen them up a little bit with the pass. I think that's what we're seeing. I think it's just the perfect amount right now.
First incompletion for Kyle Van Treese. Already 121 yards through the air and a touchdown. Now they go back to Patterson.
And that's what you want to do against this zone running attack by Buffalo. Ball State's defense, you don't want to get a ton of penetration, don't want to get upfield. You just want to keep building that wall and just feather it out all the way to the sideline. That's a decent job right there. The issue, Clay, is doing that 40, 50 times a game against this rushing attack.
So here's a long third down, 3rd and 8. Buffalo 3 for 3 on third down so far tonight. Their third down efficiency, 51% on the year. That's top 10 in the country. They try to get it up the middle, not much there. And this will be interesting for Buffalo. Their field goal kicking team has not been used a lot. In fact, just 1 field goal attempt all season by Alex McNulty.
And it was a miss from 11 yards, I think, against Kent State there. So something they don't often do, kick field goals.
McNulty, 3rd team All-MAC, despite missing that only field goal. Thing is, he's been perfect this year on extra points, 38 of 38. So this will be a 27-yard attempt for Alex McNulty, the senior out of Rochester. Out of the hold of Evan Finnegan. And Ball State got a piece of it. That was blocked by Jimmy Daw. So McNulty can't convert on the 3-pointer. It stays 14-7.
Is on. The AT&T Countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship, Monday, January 11th on ESPN.
Number 27 is Jimmy Daw, the junior out of Ohio. He recovered that high end zone snap last week against Western Michigan. Big play in that game, which ended up winning the division for Ball State. Makes a big play on special teams tonight.
That's exactly right. He's very much a part of stopping this rushing attack within a big play on special teams, and that was the difference last week for Ball State was red zone. Western Michigan got up and down the field just like Buffalo has, but they were stopping them in the red zone.
So McNulty's field goal attempt blocked. He's 0 for 2 on the year. It's a big stop for Ball State as the Bulls are held without points. This will be a first down carry, now close to the 34-yard line for Evans.
And it's so crucial for Ball State to pick up first downs with the tempo they're going with. If you go with a fast tempo, you got to get first downs, or else you're giving Jarrett Patterson that offense the ball back.
Plitt unloads on first down, goes to the outside for Tyler. Did he stay in bounds? What a catch! Johannes Tyler, the junior out of New Orleans, continues to impress.
In a perfect ball placement by Drew Plitt, thrown to the outside shoulder where only Tyler can get, and then just snatches it out of the air.
It's a completed pass for a first down. That play is under further review.
Now it's a 23-yard reception for Tyler, ruled complete on the field. They're looking at it upstairs right now. They're going to confirm that catch for Tyler. Let's bring Matt Austin back in and tell us why, Matt.
Yeah, I understand why they had to look at this. Anytime the receiver is facing the field with his backside towards the end zone or towards the sideline, when his toe comes down, then the heel, the entire foot has to come down in bounds. And this was exactly what happened here. The left foot toe came down, the heel came down in bounds. I think the right foot did come down out of bounds, but it was already a catch. So this was a good confirm.
That's a great little call there, Matt. Yeah, there's a little nuance to that roll with the toe-heel thing, but great job, great camera angle as well.
And Tyler continues to be the favorite target of Drew Plitt, and he has been in recent weeks, even more so than Justin Hall.
He has, especially more of the big play down the field stuff. Hall's been a lot of the jet sweeps and the bubble screens like we're seeing here.
Well, and as we say that, it's a big play for Hall. Still on his feet, inside the 20, and finally spun down at the 19-yard line.
Golly, he is fun to watch. He gets up to speed quick. Just get him the ball and let him do some work, dancing around, breaking some tackles, stiff arm. Fun stuff there. Justin Hall playing big at 5'9", 186.
Now they'll go up the middle with Will Jones. Justin Hall.
And you got to wonder about the psyche of Buffalo right now. You know, their offense going up and down the field, they're scoring, but they're on the sideline right now, Clay, saying, boy, Ball State is answering, right? Yeah. They're coming back.
They're going to send Hall off. See, 1 catch, 25 yards, a couple of runs for 15. Tyler lines up to the right side, and this is where he is his most dangerous. Plitt will go to the other side of the field. Davis spins out of a tackle, and he's hog-tied at the 3-yard line by Corey Gross, the big hitting strong safety, but it's first down and goal to go for the Cardinals.
That's the thing. You worry about Justin Hall, you worry about Johannes Tyler, and Antoine Davis is an exceptional wide receiver as well. Get another physical guy. Just a lot to think about, a lot to try to take away for Buffalo's defense.
With these two quarterbacks are razor sharp here in the first half. Plitt 7 of 8, over 100 yards now. Looking for a second touchdown pass. He has the fullback, Rudy, who can't hang on. Is incomplete. Gaddafi Wright having a great first half defensively for the Bulls.
And an exceptional throw. That ball was put in a perfect spot, and Rudy just can't come up with a great job of Wright of coming in and breaking that thing up and not giving up on the play. Great job, 31.
Wright had that big pick 6 against Northern Illinois earlier in the year. He has 3 career defensive touchdowns. Nobody better in coverage from the linebacker spot in the MAC than Gaddafi Wright. And now here's Plitt stumbling, and he's going to be brought down at about the 3-yard line, and again Gross on the stop.
Yeah, I think Plitt hit the turf monster there. That's something you'll see, is him using his legs, which I think is a good idea. You go back to the Kent State game, Dustin Crum, he had really had some positive yardage running the ball, made some things happen. So if Drew Plitt can add that to the repertoire, it's just another thing for Buffalo to think about.
So Ball State in the red zone coming in, 17 touchdowns on 28 trips. Not great. This is the 9th play of the series.
Buffalo can't get picked down the bottom of the screen.
And they're going to go with Evans, and he runs into a wall, trying to stay on his feet. He is a bull, making his way close to the goal line. Did he get in? No, they're going to mark him short. Great second effort by Ty Evans, but it's going to be 4th down.
That thing was hitting the
timeout for an injured
backfield.
player on the defense. 4th down.
Evans was hitting the backfield and just stayed with it, refused to go down.
Tyrone Hill is the player down for Buffalo, the leader of that Bulls secondary. We're going to step aside while they check on him here in Detroit. Buffalo free safety Tyrone Hill got off the field under his own power. That's the guy to watch in the red zone for Ball State.
Yes, Johannes Tyler, he already burned Buffalo for a touchdown earlier. He's at the bottom of the screen. And I like Ball State being aggressive here, going for it on 4th down. It's pretty apparent they're going to have to put some points on the board tonight. Buffalo better watch out for number 6.
Plitt will go under center. And they're going to try to sneak it in. No signal yet. Yes, one official raises both arms, and we've got a touchdown for Ball State. Drew Plitt just muscling his way in. Buffalo's arguing the call, but the Cardinals are an extra point away from tying this game up.
What did Mike New tell us all week, Clay? Said Drew Plitt is in a championship state of mind. And he said, look, I'm going to put this ball in my hands. I'm going to 2nd, 3rd, 4th effort. I'm going to find a way to get it in the end zone. Let's see if he broke the play.
Ruling on the field of the previous play is a touchdown. That play is under further review.
Now we got another review. I don't know how they're going to overturn this. It's almost impossible to see that football, and you got to take the official's word for it.
Well, you called it, partner. It's got to be indisputable video evidence to overturn this, because the call on the field was a touchdown. And after about 3 different angles, I don't see anything that definitively tells me you got to overturn that call right there. It's one of those deals, Clay, where if had they not called it a touchdown, I might have agreed with that too. But whatever the call in the field is, I think it's going to stand.
What a drive for Ball State. 10 plays, 90 yards in just over 3 minutes.
See, and you don't see the ball. Is it maybe over there? Maybe it's not. I don't know. So it's going to be hard to overturn this.
That's their 3rd rushing touchdown on the year for Plitt. We're talking with offensive coordinator Kevin Lynch. This week he said it's the best football of Plitt's career. His leadership, his play on the field, it's all at a high level right now.
After review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
Yeah, again, you just couldn't overturn that.
There's no angle there.
way.
It's got to jump off the screen. It's got to say, oh, okay, clearly the ball didn't cross. We don't know for sure, so the play's got to stand. Just a great job of effort by Drew Plitt. Lance Leopold does not like the call, understandably, but Ball State answers.
Jacob Lewis on for the extra point. And we're tied at 14. Just an excellent finish to a short max season here in Detroit. We're tied at 14 with 8:49 to go here in the first half. And Drew Plitt, part of a senior class at Ball State that was 0-8 in the MAC 3 years ago. And Mike New, the head coach, told his guys, especially the senior class, go out, leave it all on the field, enjoy this moment. We've all been through a lot together, especially in 2020. First and foremost, make sure you have fun tonight.
That's right. Cut it loose, right? That's the phrase he kept using this week when we talked to him. And Drew Plitt did just that. He's from my hometown of Cincinnati. Went to Loveland High School. He was a wing T quarterback in high school. And he shows he's got a little bit of that dual threat nature. But he's just, confident. Getting the ball around to the playmakers. Got Antoine Davis involved there, of course, Justin Hall and Ty Evans on the ground game. Drew Plitt doing a good job leading this team.
Yeah, Ball State, 2 touchdown underdogs tonight. They love this, being the underdog. Talked about it all week. They're battle-tested, won 4 one-score games this year. And with the truncated season, every game really had title implications. But especially for Ball State, considering what they were through last year, losing all the close games and kept them from winning the West. They have responded this year. Now we'll see how the Bulls answer. Cook Third team All-MAC return man gets it to about the 23-yard line. This is a rematch of the 2008 MAC title game here at Ford Field. That year, Brady Hoke's Cardinals were ranked number 12 in the country, and they had BCS hopes at the time, but Buffalo spoiled those hopes.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they were the underdog and came in and got it done.
And Mike Newton recovered a fumble, took it 92 yards to give Buffalo the lead. They never looked back, won it 42-24. The first and only MAC championship for Buffalo. Turner Gill was the head coach at that time. So here's Van Treese. He's been razor sharp tonight. It's another strike to Antonio Nunn and a pickup of about 16 yards on the play as we go down to Katie.
Well, guys, Drew Plitt told me he looked at the line every morning this week hoping that there was no movement, because being second-guessed or doubted has become second nature around this program. They embrace the underdog mentality. Justin Hall says he loves it. He goes to bed sleeping well knowing that they're an underdog, so they feed off of that kind of energy.
That's right, Katie. That's how a competitor usually is. They want the world to doubt them, right? Drew Plitt loves playing with that on his shoulders like that. He's playing well.
You played at Notre Dame. You weren't an underdog too often, were you?
Against Nebraska, we were a couple times, yeah.
Here's Van Treese loading up. He's going to take a deep shot. Has a man. Great adjustment and catch. Down at the 1-yard line. Trevor Wilson.
And right there you see the speed of Antonio Nunn. Getting on top of the feet of the defender and then leaving him. Uzadinma did a poor job right there. You look back at the ball just enough. When you're not in phase, when you're not close to the wide receiver, you don't want to look back. It just allows that gap to increase a little bit. Wow.
Second catch, now 81 yards for Trevor Wilson. Van Treese, the fake. He's going to keep it himself. Lunges in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Kyle Van Treese, his third rushing touchdown. And he answers the Ball State quarterback's rushing touchdown with one of his own.
And partner, we've been talking about the confidence that Drew Plitt is playing with. How about Kyle Van Treese? Spreading the ball around in the pass game, throwing the deep shot, handing it off to Jarrett Patterson, then keeping it himself for the touchdown. He's playing with a lot of moxie right now.
Boy, Ball State scores to tie it up, and right back down the field in 3 plays. Kyle Van Treese and the Buffalo offense. And it's 21-14. 3 plays, 76 yards. And I've been very impressed with Kyle Van Treese's arm here tonight, Rock.
Doing a great job with the deep ball, and then the touchdown runs it in. Kyle Van Treese leading this Buffalo offense, 21-14.
Field where Kyle Van Treese is having himself a night. Buffalo leads 21-14. Van Treese said he came to Buffalo because he believed this program could do something special, and he didn't give up on that belief just because he wasn't in the starting lineup a year ago. He kept his head down, trusted that an opportunity would present itself for him to step in and play. He says there's something to be said for sticking it out and not giving up on this team. Buffalo staff, they certainly are grateful he took that mature approach and is still leading this team currently in a phenomenal performance in the title matchup right now.
And it's a great point, Katie. I mean, how many times do we see coming out of spring ball, there's a quarterback competition, and whoever loses that battle, boom, next day they're in the transfer portal, they're going somewhere else. Kyle Van Treese stayed right here, and he's making it happen.
Ball State's got it at the 25 after this update with Matt Berry in the studio. Wow. Oh, that'd be an upset.
It would. How about that? USC's been playing some good ball this year.
Certainly have. Mike Slovis, quarterback. Fun to watch. Next here's Ball State. Let's see what they do for a response. Down a touchdown again. We'll keep it on the ground with Will Jones. This offense keeping Jarrett Patterson off the field as much as they can. Sustaining drive, such a key tonight for the Cardinals, and they'll get a first down here. Reception by Justin Hall.
And Clay, I want to go back to what you just said there, because that's a key point. Is it's not enough. Yes, you want to move the ball down the field and you want to score points, but yes, keeping Jarrett Patterson in this Kyle Van Treese offense on the sideline for Buffalo is just as important.
Patterson, by the way, 11 carries, 41 yards, does have a touchdown. That came on the opening series for Buffalo as Plitt loads up, and he's got a receiver again complete to Tyler. Inside the 40-yard line at the 39.
I'm just so happy the Mac came back and played football. This is fun. Drew Plitt, a crossing route there, finding Johannes. Tyler just snatches the ball out of the air like he always does.
It's a gain of 24. You know, he surprised a lot of defensive coordinators in the MAC this year as Evans finds a hole on the right side. First down and more on his feet inside the 15 and finally wrestled down by E.J. Brown at the 7-yard line.
And I'm telling you right now, Buffalo's saying, what do we got to do to put this team away? Ty Evans, little quick bounce out. He's a big guy, but he's got some jets there, Clay. Getting into the second, third level. Ty Evans, you know, a couple months ago wasn't a big part of this offense at all, and now he's really taking the reins.
30-yard play for number 30. Plitt to the end zone on the throw. Going back shoulder, and it's incomplete. He wanted Davis, but Isaiah King was blanketing him in the end zone.
Good job of coverage by King. Plitt loves that back shoulder throw, as most quarterbacks do. This area of the field, so hard to defend. Just a great job of staying right there and staying right tight with the wide receiver by King.
Davis, by the way, a sixth-year senior. You know, and because there's that free year, I guess he can be a seventh-year senior. That's something we'll be hearing about next year. There's a touchdown catch for Justin Hall. Looking back at the defender, Isaiah King, and saying, yep, got by you. And that's a score for the senior out of Georgia. His 4th touchdown catch of the year. And Ball State answers right back.
In bottom of the screen, you'll see a bunch formation by Ball State's wide receivers. And you know the route's coming. Look, there's only 2 blue jerseys, though. You need to get another defender over, but he comes late. And then you get the natural pick, and Drew Plitt puts the ball on the money. You got to anticipate as a defender down this area of the field, the pick routes, the rub routes. Make sure you know that it's coming. I don't think Buffalo did. Drew Plitt made him pay.
6 plays, 75 yards, and how about that in just 1:36 seconds? You know, Rocky, I don't think they're going with a breakneck tempo here tonight, but the tempo is just fast enough to keep Buffalo on their heels. Kick off your Week 15 NFL Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew on ESPN. Then on Monday Night Football, we've got Big Ben and the Steelers as they take on the Bengals. Coverage begins with Monday Night Countdown, 6 Eastern. Steelers trying to wrap up the AFC North. They've lost 2 straight, of course. Roethlisberger was a star in the MAC back in the day. The MVP of the 2003 season, led Miami to a 13-1 record that year.
A much younger-looking Ben Roethlisberger in that picture. He's been playing about 100 years, I think, and golly, he is such an amazing talent. Still playing at a high level for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Football fans in Buffalo will be saying, though, the Buffalo Bills made them look kind of bad last week.
A little bit, yeah. They started off 11-0, and they've been on their heels a little bit the last couple weeks. Not really playing Steeler football. Not running the ball very well. I know they want to get back to that. They're going to try to get that thing jump-started here against Cincinnati on Monday night.
How about the quarterback play here tonight?
Yeah. Incredible. I mean, we come in, we talk about Jarrett Patterson and Kevin Marks, and they've played a great game, but Kyle Van Treese leading this offense, dual threat, and then Drew Plitt has been exceptional for Ball State as well.
We've got about 350 yards of offense, passing offense here tonight, and they've been incomplete on a total of 4 passes tonight, the 2 quarterbacks combined. Here's Cook again, and another solid return. Fights his way to the 33-yard line. So Kyle Van Treese, 10 of 11, 196, a touchdown, and he has just handled the conditions that the defense has thrown at him very well.
And you can just tell by watching him play, Clay, that he understands the why, right? He understands, okay, why are we doing this? Why are we running this formation? Why are we running this play? Playing so confidently, and then from there, it's just putting the ball on the money and taking him with his own if he has to.
Just a junior. So he'll be back next year for the Bulls. Out of the gun. Run it on first down. Patterson gets it to the 35. His 12th carry for Patterson. He's been held under 4 yards per carry. The average is about 8 yards per carry. So for the most part, Ball State's plan to clog the middle, load the box, it's working in at least slowing down Patterson.
It is, and I still think that is priority number one, stopping this run game, because it's been so magnificent all season. Patterson's always just one play away from breaking one.
He'll try it again. And it's going to be third down and long.
And notice what Ball State did right there defensively. They just did a good job, as I talked about earlier, just stretching that thing out, a little bit of penetration, but not getting too far upfield, and nowhere to go for Patterson.
Last tackle. Joshua Tarango, the JUCO All-American last year at Fullerton.
And this is a huge play for Ball State's defense. If they can get the ball back to their offense, what a win.
Entries looking to the sideline, 2 for 4 on third down tonight.
Pass rusher Christian Albright, top of their field there.
They need the 44-yard line to keep the drive alive, and that's going to land incomplete. He wanted his best receiver, Antonio Nunn. A.J. Uzudinma, the corner. Good job in coverage for Ball State.
Yeah, against Buffalo's best wide receiver in Nunn. It's a good job of respecting the speed of Nunn and staying in phase. But I know Katie talked about earlier, with Ball State not getting much pressure on the quarterback, they did a better job of that on that play.
This will be the first punt of the night for Evan Finnegan, the Detroit area native at the Bishop Foley High School here in town. Low snap, gets a good kickoff. And Hall is going to let it bounce at the 23. It takes a Bulls roll out near the 15-yard line. Notre Dame Clemson tomorrow for the ACC title. It's going to be terrific. 4 Eastern time on ABC, and of course, streaming live on the app. Now, Ian Book has turned in a great career at Notre Dame. Last time he played Clemson, he was outstanding. So was Kyron Williams in that game back in November. But Clemson didn't have their linebacker, James Skalski. He's going to be back. He's going to make things a little harder on these guys.
He definitely will. But remember in that first matchup, Ian Book has the fumble late in the game, and Clemson gets the ball back, but he gets it out of his head, and in overtime finds a way to lead the offense down the field. In my opinion, I think Ian Book is definitely in the Heisman conversation with the high level of play of him this year.
Your favorite is Mac Jones, I suspect, to win the Heisman?
Yeah, he's playing so well right now. Ian Book. You know, Trevor Lawrence with a big game tomorrow. He could be a part of that conversation as well.
He was the favorite to start the year, but Mac Jones, I think he can solidify his chances to win it tomorrow with that game against Florida in the SEC title game. Pump fake. Plitt going down the field looking for Davis. He tried to come back around the defender to make the catch, and it lands incomplete.
And that was one of the poorer throws of Plitt here tonight. Just a little bit underthrown. I love the route combination, and just a little bit behind the wide receiver. I think if he gets it over the top of his shoulder, drops in the bucket, he has a chance. And now Buffalo with a big opportunity to not only get the ball back for their offense, but get it back in some nice field position. See if Buffalo may want to heat them up here. It's a little pressure. Okay. Malcolm Kuntz down the bottom of the line of scrimmage.
Another pass, looking for Tyler. He goes up, and a penalty flag comes out. This could be pass interference on Tyrone Hill. At least that's what Ball State thinks. Hill, of course, was shaken up earlier in this half. Good to see him back out there running around. Here's Tom Stapleton.
Pass interference, defense number 33. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
It's always important, Clay, for the defender to get the eyes back on the quarterback. When they don't, that's when the flag is often coming out there. You see, if Hill can find a way, even with that same amount of contact, if he's looking for the ball, I think the flag doesn't come out, but he's just not able to get his head around him. I didn't think it was too egregious, to be honest, but that's why the flag was thrown.
First penalty against Buffalo. Each team with just one penalty. That's what you'd expect in a championship game. Both teams playing clean football. Play fake, flip, hands off, and that's a scamper for Hall. And he's escorted out of bounds by E.J. Brown, who started his career at West Virginia before going to Iowa Central and ending up at Buffalo. First down for Ball State with just over 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Flip dumps it out. Hall again on that receiver screen and quickly covered up. Here's James Patterson. Also Tyrone Hill again. James Patterson, the leading tackler of the Buffalo defense. You got a Patterson leading the offense. You got a Patterson leading the defense for the Bulls.
And that's so key for Buffalo. Got to stop the yards after catch. They're going to get the ball to Justin Hall. They're going to get to Johannes Tyler. But after the catch, shut them down. Get them on the ground. Good job at gang tackling. James Patterson, the twin brother of Jarrett, does a great job leading that defense. Their top tackler.
Fraternal twins. James 20 minutes younger than Jarrett. Plip lost the football. Who's got it? Might have our first turnover of the game. It looks like Ball State has recovered. And that's what was so key last week for Ball State. They didn't turn the football over.
That's exactly right. And Ball State, once again, living their life right, finding a way to somehow get back on this ball as Will Jones grabs it. But you just get the feeling that that's what's going to just swing this game one way or another right now, is who gets the first turnover. Right now, Ball State luckily didn't give him one right there.
Drew Plitt was averaging an interception thrown per game before last week. They had no team turnovers. It was so key in that win over the Broncos. Here's Plitt dancing in the pocket. Down the sideline, McGoy wide open, nobody around, and he walks in for a touchdown. He just snuck over to the corner of the field all alone, and Plitt found him. 56 yards on that hookup.
And it looked like Roy Baker, the Buffalo corner, just fell down. If we'll get a shot of it here. It may be coming into the screen, because it looked like Roy Baker had coverage and just either fell down or slipped or something, and McGoy is left wide open.
Ball State with its first lead of this MAC championship game.
Roy Baker, a tall cornerback. Here's the bottom of the screen. As he's covering McGoy, he's in pretty good shape, and then he'll just slip and fall. And it leaves McGoy wide open for the touchdown. Good job by Drew Plitt of staying with that and finding McGoy as he comes wide open. It's a critical mistake right there for Buffalo's defense. Got to stay on your feet.
Oh, and that feels good for numeral 0, who grew up here in Detroit, went to Martin Luther King High School. You and I saw him have a breakout game against Central Michigan a couple of weeks ago. He had 3 catches for 100 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So his 3rd touchdown of the year is a big one. It puts Ball State in front for the first time against the favored Bulls tonight.
And that's where, again, you got to wonder about the psyche of Buffalo. They're used to just throttling teams this year, and it's just been a back and forth slugfest. And right now, Ball State takes the lead.
First time Buffalo has trailed all year. We'll see how they respond. They've got 1:30 to work with and all of their timeouts before halftime. And that kick is out of bounds. That's a big mistake for Jacob Lewis as we go to the studio and Matt Berry. All right, Matt, looking forward to it as we get set for a big day tomorrow.
I think that was Justin Hall getting some attention on the sideline. Also, I think we saw Drew Plitt, the quarterback, maybe got a little dinged up last series as well.
There's Jared Patterson hoping to make an impact before halftime. Held in check here in the first half for the most part. Now, this is where Drew Plitt may have been shaken up too. He was tackled really hard on that play that Ball State was able to recover the loose football on.
And his arms were kind of out as he was falling, going to the ground. It looked like on the sideline they were doing some arm strengthening tests to see what those shoulders look like.
Now Buffalo going with tempo on third down, trying to convert a 3rd and 4. Pressure from behind. Ball is loose. It's scooped up. Christian Albright is going to take it in. Huge defensive touchdown for Albright and Ball State. Jimmy Daw popped it loose. Albright scooped it up and scores.
The ruling on the previous play was a fumble recovered by the defense. The play is under further review.
Ball State has been passive all night, Clay, and kind of letting Van Treese back there with a lot of time. But Jimmy Dahl comes around the snap, bat that ball out, a perfect bounce to Albright, who takes it in. So look at the rush from the top, just a little bit of a kind of a slow, then he turns on the jets, gets underneath Owashika, who's one of the best blocking tackles in the MAC, causes the turnover, picked up by Albright.
Well, if it stands, and we think it will, it's only the 4th turnover for Buffalo this year, just the 2nd fumble.
And I'd love to hear from Matt Austin about, was the arm coming forward? It did not look like it was to me. It's going to be razor thin. But to me, that looked like that ball was out.
Rocky, I agree with you 100%. The hand was not moving forward. The ball came out.
After
this should be
review,
pretty easy.
the ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense for a touchdown is confirmed.
Now Buffalo in uncharted waters, trailing for the first time this season, and Ball State adds insult to injury with a defensive scoop and score.
That's been their MO all year, right? The havoc plays, the tackles for loss, the sacks, the takeaways. They've been so good at it. They'll give up some yards now, but they get the ball back to their offense and they score their own sometimes.
What a game for Jimmy Daw. A blocked field goal forces that fumble. That leads to a touchdown. And you'd said this week he was going to be a key guy.
He was, and Brandon Martin, Jalen Thomas, great linebackers, but I mean, look at the last 2 scores. Ball State putting 14 on the board in a hurry. Buffalo has a defender fall to the ground, then Jimmy Dahl, who we knew was going to have a big role. We previewed it. He blocks the field goal earlier, and there with the sack strip and the defensive touchdown. Those linebackers for Ball State having such a huge impact. And right now, Clay, I want to see Kyle Van Treese. He's been exceptional today. He's been Mr. Cool back there. He's putting the ball, delivering all around the field. But he's got to be the calming presence right now as Buffalo's saying, hey, we haven't been in this position much this season. He's got to calm him down and get him back on track.
Christian Albright, the senior who's had a terrific year, sealed the win over Toledo with a fumble recovery. It's a fumble recovery, takes it in for 6. And Ball State with a 2-touchdown lead here with 48 seconds to go in the first half. And Buffalo will start this drive at the 19-yard line. What a turn of events here in the last few minutes.
When we talk about it, Katie talked about it. Ball State loves playing that underdog role. They've embraced it all season. They've embraced it tonight, and they are coming out and playing on fire.
Ball State will have the football to start the second half. Let's see if the Bulls can get some points on the board before halftime. Van Treese will hand off. Patterson, nowhere to go up the middle. Maybe a yard as Brandon Martin, the heartbeat of that Ball State defense and co-defensive player of the year in the MAC, makes the stop. Harris also in on the play.
platoon the MAC in tackles. Just racks up 10, 12, 14 tackle games all year long. Big number 7.
It's a defense that's played pretty well against the run all year. They've struggled against the pass.
Antonio Nunn, top of the screen, the big play guy.
Van Treese going out that way. There is Nunn. He's got the first down, gets toward the sideline. And that's going to be it. Can't get out of bounds.
Wow.
And that's going to be the end of the first half.
Yeah, that was not a good job by Buffalo right there. Might have had an opportunity to run another play or two. Buffalo right now a little bit on their heels, Clay.
Drew Plitt over 200 yards, passing and 3 touchdowns. Great half for Ball State. 35-21 at the half. Let's go to Matt Berry in the studio.
Welcome back to Dr. Pepper Championship Week.
Back here in Detroit, a little snow in the air. Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship. It was an entertaining first half between Ball State and Buffalo. 35-21. The Cardinals with the lead. That's probably a surprise to many. Alongside Rocky Boyman, I'm Clay Matvick, Katie George down on the sideline. Yeah, 2 touchdown underdogs coming into this one, Rock. Ball State took a punch early, but really didn't flinch all that much in the first half.
Yeah, Ball State's defense is playing exceptional right now because right out of the gate, Buffalo looked like it was going to do what they've been doing all season, which is score early and often. Kyle Van Treese through the air, gets the big pass play on the first drive. They punch it in for the touchdown. But then Ball State just kind of kept answering. I mean, there's the first touchdown, but Ball State's defense keep answering. This was kind of the turning point, Clay. The blocked field goal gave the ball back to Ball State, and then Drew Plitt makes them pay with the deep touchdown, and then they start to gain even more momentum. And then, as we talked about, their defense, the sack strip, fumble return for the touchdown. Ball State playing lights out right now.
Ball State outscoring Buffalo 28-7 in the second quarter. Obviously, the game plan for the nation's #1 rushing team coming in, run the football. The nation's #1 rusher held way below his first half average this year, just 47 yards rushing for Jared Patterson in the first half. He averages 205 per game. What kind of adjustments do you expect Buffalo to make here in the second half, Rock?
Well, I think they got to consistently get the ball to him. Sometimes it just takes a couple of 2-3 times to get him warmed up, get him into the flow of the game. But they also got to address how Ball State's defense is playing. Their defense doing a great job of stringing out that stretch zone scheme that they like so much. Now again for Ball State, it's just about can you keep doing that for time and time again here in the second half.
So Ball State will get the football to start the second half, leading by a couple of touchdowns. They're going to start just across the 20-yard line on that return by Hall. Just moments ago, Katie caught up with Lance Leipold.
Lance, playing from behind is uncharted territory for your group. What adjustments do you want to see in this next half?
Well, we got to cover better. We got to tackle better on the defensive side of the ball. Opportunistic times. They made some great plays. You know, consistency in the run game. We got to be a little bit better in the outside run game. But we're throwing the ball well, and we're going to see, like we told them, okay, we're going to back the wall a little bit. We're going to see what we're made of, and it's going to be an exciting second half.
You mentioned the run game, just 64 yards rushing in that first half. How do you get that going?
Well, we got to, again, we're going to try to make a few adjustments here, see how they work out. But again, we're probably throwing the ball more in the first half than we have in about 3 games combined.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you expect that Buffalo will figure out a way to really engage their offensive line. It's one of the best O-lines, not just the MAC, but the entire group of 5 and maybe even the country. They really haven't been able to run the football like they'd like.
Yeah, they've not. And they have had success through the air, so, let's go with what's working here. But you got to remember what brought you to the dance, right? That is running the football with authority. And I think we'll see them try to get back to that. The score is certainly within a range where they can keep pounding that run.
Second down and 2. That's going to be short for Jones. Wrapped up by Thompson, Tyree Thompson, number 27. grad transfer from UCLA. Started at UCLA a couple of years ago. See how Buffalo comes out here. And it looks like Ball State's going to keep the drive alive. They pick up the first down. Yeah, you got to imagine that because this is such unusual territory for Buffalo, that there were some words said in the locker room.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where Lance Leipold has got to calm his team down when they're sitting there saying, hey, we don't really realize what this feeling is here because we haven't been there. He's got to say, look, it's still well within range. Don't look at the scoreboard. Let's just go out here and play our best football. And this is a third quarter team that's where they're really, really strong.
Pass is incomplete. Some pressure coming in from Malcolm Kuntz. Big defensive end, and Plitt had to get rid of it. Second down and 10.
And I think that's got to be a priority too for Buffalo's defenses. Let's make Drew Plitt uncomfortable. He's playing lights out football right now at the quarterback position.
They came in wanting to play fast defense. And that is pretty fast. They get to Plitt. And down he goes in a heap. George Wallow and Max Michel meet at the quarterback. But there is a marker down.
Offside. Defense, number 50, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
It looked like Malcolm Kuntz lined up in the neutral zone, trying to get a jump, trying to get to the quarterback. And that's a shame because great job on the outside by Buffalo. They took away Drew Plitt's read. He was going to do a one-step right to the outside. They took it away, forced him to eat the ball. Looked like Kuntz wasn't even ready.
Yeah, he was still looking at the sideline.
Yeah.
Still looking for direction from the coaching staff. So that sets up second down and 5 for Ball State, leading by 2 touchdowns, trying to throw a big haymaker here to start the quarter. And again, Plitt goes down. This time, Tyrese Woods, another Detroit native, coming in, and it's going to be third down and long.
Zone read, and Drew Plitt should have handed this football off. Instead, he has to keep it. Big number 95. A couple great negative plays defensively for Buffalo to start this half.
It's a loss of 5. This is the number 2 scoring defense in the league, allowing 21 points per game. They've already given up 35. Plitt throws on the run, and he's got a strike at the 40. Caught by Antoine Davis. Wrapped up and pushed back. First down and 10 from the 38 of Buffalo.
Good job by Plitt, just keeping it alive. Eyes remain downfield. Doesn't just take off and run. Let's just extend the play and let one of my wide receivers find a hole and get open. Now, what a dagger right there against Buffalo's defense.
Going with tempo again. Get it to Hall. He's brought down on the sideline by Hill. Gain of 3.
And Hall a little slow to get up. We saw him get some attention in the first half. He took a couple shots. That's going to be key because he's had a nice first half. He's been the key to their offense all year. It's important that he stays healthy and active in this game.
Yeah, we saw Plitt shaking up in the first half, too. It looks like he's all right. Second down and 8. You see Plitt under center. Half of the time. Hand off to Will Jones. Jones played through a broken hand in 2019. Missed a couple of games this year with a knee injury. We've seen Jones and Evans rotating at running back again. Caleb Huntley has opted out, making NFL plans. Got injured after the 3rd game of the year. Moving on without him, trying to win a championship. Plitt. Cox fires, complete. And churning ahead. Trying to pick up that first down and doing so. It's James Gray.
I think what really stands out to me is just the amount of formations, right, that Ball State gives you. Just a lot to think about for the defense. Some plays, they're condensed. They got everyone packed in. Then they'll spread the field and go 5 wides. And it just really looks like Buffalo's on their heels a little bit. Another bunch formation with a wide receiver combination down the bottom of the screen.
11th play of the series. Right up the middle with Ty Evans. Good run on first down. I'm really impressed with this offensive line. you know, at times it hasn't played all that well. It's battled some injuries. Pass protection has been suspect at times. A lot of sacks. But tonight, I think they've really dominated the line of scrimmage.
I think you're right. You see Anthony Todd, the center, getting to the second level and getting a hat on the linebacker.
Second down and 3, another run. Shedding tackles, Evans. First down and goal to go, Ball State. What a message the Cardinals are sending here early in the second half.
Beating them at their own game, right? Just running the ball downhill. And one thing for Ty Evans, he's got to make sure he secures that football. You see it kind of coming loose a little bit, and Buffalo's defenders grabbing and slashing at it. But yeah, the offensive line, and again, this run game, as you talked about, without Caleb Huntley, their best running back, opted out on the season. They haven't missed a beat here tonight.
Slowing the tempo down just a little bit. There's Jones as he gets it to the 4. Mike New, the head coach, won one conference game his first 2 years. Third in the West last year. In Detroit in year 5. He told his team, especially the seniors, that we said in the first half, this has got to be fun tonight, guys. And ever since that blocked field goal, this team has been having fun.
Having a lot of fun out there. I do not see Johannes Tyler on the field right now. Their best red zone target is Antoine Davis at the bottom of the screen.
14th play to the end zone. That's a little off target. Again, looking for Isaac James Gray, the grad transfer from Indiana. So it'll be third down and goal to go.
It is interesting. I don't know what's going on with Johannes Tyler. This is normally his area of the field. I'm not sure if he's injured or what the story is, but they're going to bring in Justin Hall.
And Tyler, 6 catches. He's been targeted 7 times, has that 1 touchdown catch. There he is without his helmet. Third down and goal. Rolling out, Plitt throws to the corner, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Davis was the man he wanted. A pre-Washington, their best cover man was right there.
And this is just where you miss the size of Johannes Tyler. He's just a big-bodied wide receiver, does such a good job of just boxing those defenders out. Try to get the ball to Davis, and they're going to settle for the field goal.
So Jacob Lewis, who's been the kickoff specialist most of the year for Ball State, has been doing most of the place kicking tonight. Jack Knight missed a couple of extra points last week.
Yes,
that might be the reason why. This will be from 21 yards out. And we've got a 3-score game. Ball State has never won the MAC championship game. They're going to try to win that trophy here tonight. Things looking good for the Cards. Ball State, they're the underdogs, but they're in charge right now. 38-21, 9-10 to go third quarter. That was a 16-play, 76-yard drive in almost 6 minutes. And we talked about Buffalo maybe getting ahead and playing keep away. That was a keep away drive for the Cardinals. Bad news, though, for the Cards. Johannes Tyler, their red zone weapon, left for the locker room moments ago.
Yeah, I think they really missed him down there in that area of the field. Not sure what his status is, but boy, they sure would love to get number 6 back. Let me make this point, too. I mean, Ball State goes to the air right there. If they keep it on the ground, they may be able to get another minute run off that clock.
Ron Cook and Kevin Marks back deep. A couple of guys who could change momentum in a hurry. It's Cook. He's had some good returns tonight. Hurdles a tackler, gets to the 30, and stood up at about the 33-yard line. Well, here's our College Football Award Spotlight, brought to us by the Home Depot, featuring Jared Patterson, a finalist for the Doak Walker Award. Right now, Rocky, is really his time to shine. He's been held in check so far tonight.
Clay, he's the MAC Player of the Year. You know, and he's got to find a way to take control of this game. In Buffalo on the season is outscoring opponents in the third quarter 84-7. This is their quarter to shine.
Molinich, the tight end, goes in motion. It will be Patterson, and his yards have been hard to come by. So remember to tune in for the Home Depot College Football Awards show. That's January 7th at 7 o'clock on ESPN. And speaking of awards, you know, before tonight, you know, a lot of people were saying, well, maybe Patterson's a dark horse to be, you know, mentioned for the Heisman.
Yeah, at least as a finalist, I certainly agree with that. But he's got to get going tonight.
And Treese, another completion. And there is Nunn doing what Nunn does. A big catch out close to midfield. The Heisman finalists will be announced Christmas Eve. It's going to be a virtual ceremony this year, of course. You know, that's what 2020 is about. Everything's virtual. It's going to air January 5th on ESPN. And I'll ask you, should Patterson be a finalist?
I think so. I think he deserves. I mean, he got over 1,000 yards in just 5 games. That doesn't happen every year. I think he should at least get an invite to be a part of that conversation.
We'll get the carry here. Hit behind the line. Jack Sape, the sophomore out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, just down the road, makes the tackle.
It's such a fine line. You don't often want to get too much penetration, but he had great leverage on the running back. Sometimes you get too far upfield. Running back like Patterson can just cut it back across the grain, but Sape, great job.
That's not good for Buffalo. We step aside. The nation's leading rusher, Jared Patterson, in the medical tent, but he did jog off the field, and that was good to see.
That was a very good sign, because he was down on the field a while, and we'll get a chance to see the replay here. His leg gets twisted up. Jack Sape comes up and goes in and makes the tackle. As he's rolling over, did he hold on a little too long? Like right there, he lets go, but not after getting that knee twisted up for Jared Patterson. That's close. I know Buffalo, you certainly don't like to see that. Just hang on to that tackle as long as he did.
So without Patterson, imagine that Kevin Marks will get a steady diet now for the Buffalo run game, but they're probably getting to a point where they're going to have to pass more too, Ron.
Absolutely, down 17.
We'll send Zach Lefebvre in motion, the tight end. Here's Van Treese, complete. And Antonio Nunn has done a nice job in the receiving game here tonight. That's his 10th catch, well over 100 yards.
The most he's had on the season, Clay, is 6. Sorry, up at 10. You can see how much they respect the speed of Nunn. Look at Uzodinma giving him about an 11-yard cushion. They know that number 41 can fly.
Antonio Nunn averaging 71 yards receiving per game, has 129 tonight. This Tyler Stockton defense has done a nice job here tonight for Ball State all in all. There's Kevin Marks. We've got fourth down.
Yeah, I like this. It looks like Buffalo's going to go for it. I agree with this call. You got to find a way to stop the bleeding here a little bit. Can't afford to give the ball back to Ball State's deep to their offense.
But the offense has not been moving the football with the run game the way they have been known to do it. Do they throw it here?
Because you got to go to Marks in the run game here.
Mulinich moves back, and he's going to pass protect. Van Treese to Marks. Open field tackle, Jimmy Daw. Right at the midfield line. He is the MVP of this game for the Cardinals.
Clay, when you're a linebacker and you have a running back man-to-man, you don't wait back. You don't allow a guy like Marks to have a bunch of open field where you make you miss. You go downhill and you get him right now. That's what Dahl, look at the play. He's on the line of scrimmage. He knows he has his man-to-man, and he just goes flat down the line and gets him. Instead of trying to wait, let him catch the ball. Jimmy Dahl, MVP of this game so far.
So the Cardinals take over on downs, and they can go in for a kill shot here in the third quarter.
And this is huge, Clay, because if Ball State gets another score here, it's going to take away a little bit of the ability, the time for Ball State, for Buffalo to run the ball.
Well, now Plitt dodged one defender and then is brought down by Tyrese Woods.
And you know Drew Plitt was thinking kill shot here. He just hung on the ball just a little bit too long. There's nowhere to go. Great coverage on the back end. Got to throw that thing away right there. He holds on to it. And there comes the sack.
4th sack of the night for this Buffalo defense. That's a loss of 9, putting Ball State back at their 40. Little end around to Hall. Good pursuit by Buffalo. Tim Terry cut him off as we go down to Katie.
Well, I'm told Johannes Tyler remains in the locker room dealing with some cramps, but he is expected to return, so some good news for this Ball State offense.
Yeah, cramps, and you could see he was smiling when he walked off, so it didn't look too serious.
Yeah, maybe they'll get him some fluids, give him one of those IV bags and get him back out here. His team needs him.
Thanks, Katie. Meanwhile, Isaac James Gray, number 12, has been taking the spot of Tyler. Grad transfer from Indiana. 3rd down and 13.
Bunch formation here for Ball State.
Clip steps up, throws down the middle, a little high, and that's incomplete. And he wanted James Gray, who's 6 foot 192. A little too tall for the receiver. 4th down, and Ball State will have to punt.
Wow, that ball just sailed a little bit on Plitt. He's open. It would have taken a really good throw, just a little bit lower. They're able to come down with it. And this is a great job of answering by Buffalo.
Cardinals can't take advantage of the gift field position. Nathan Snyder will come on for just the 2nd time tonight to punt. State can flip the field position. And they'll dump it inside the 10. Can they get down and cover? That's going to roll in for a touchback. We're under 5 minutes to go. 3rd quarter. This holiday season here in Detroit. Beautiful night. 38-21, Ball State leading. (38-21) Ball State. Welcome back to the Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship here in Detroit. You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Week here on ESPN. Let's go down to Katie George for an update.
Well, after Jarrett Patterson ran off the field on his own sideline, when he exited, he was wearing a knee brace on that right knee. He's currently on the sideline working through it, trying to get comfortable, doing some jogs and some sprints. So something to keep an eye on when he returns.
And that's one of those things. If you don't wear a knee brace and all of a sudden you got to put one on in the middle of the game, it's weird. Doesn't feel right.
Kyle Van Treese has had a nice night at quarterback for the Bulls. And I'll tell you what, this Ball State defense is just on fire, and there's another tackle for Daw.
And it's funny because Jimmy Daw was going to be a big part of this game to stop the run. Well, he's making sacks, he's stripping the ball, he's making tackles in the pass game in the open field. Incredible job tonight by Jimmy Daw.
Jimmy Daw and Bryce Cosby, probably the 2 guys they talked about most, needing to have big games for Ball State, and they both have. Van Treese, 2nd down and long. Pass to the outside again, none. Cutting it back in, check that Trevor Wilson. Who's got a touchdown catch here tonight. That's his 3rd reception. And that's going to be 3rd down and more manageable, about 3rd and 6.
And I think this is the most important conversion opportunity for Buffalo all night here. You got the ball back with your your defense gets the ball back to the offense. And if you got to punt it away in 3 plays and get it back to Ball State, it's not good.
Kevin Marks to the left of Van Treese. Here comes the pressure. Van Treese time to throw, but it's high. Wanted Wilson again, and that just sailed on the quarterback, and it's 4th down. 3 and out.
Ball State's defense making Van Treese uncomfortable in the pocket. You see Jimmy Dahl, a little stunt coming up the middle. Actually a stunt from the other side as well. It's almost like you got the impression that Van Treese felt that pressure coming and just a little hesitant on the throw. It sails a little high. And this, we got to bring this up, Clay. I mean, this offensive line coming into this game had not allowed a sack in 9 games, going back to last year. Right. And now Ball State's defense is getting pressure on the quarterback.
Now the man down for Ball State is Antonio Phillips, a guy that most people in this league thinks has NFL potential. Native of St. Louis, sitting up now. Big day tomorrow, college football. We are so grateful that we've got this slate to bring you.
Wow.
Back in the summer, we were just hoping to play some college football. We've got a great set of championship games tomorrow. You got the Big 12 title game, Oklahoma and Iowa State, the ACC matchup, the rematch between Clemson and Notre Dame. The American's going to be fun. Cincinnati still has hopes for the New Year's Six.
And just thankful they were able to find a way to play this season. It wasn't easy. It's been a pain for the coaches, the players, battling all season, but the reward is this amazing lineup we have tomorrow.
And of course, the College Football Playoff Selection Show less than 2 days away, noon on Sunday. We'll break it down for you with that 4-hour special. Buffalo has to punt. Not a great kick for Finnegan, but it takes a nice roll. Kind of came off his foot funny, and it rolls all the way to the 23-yard line. So for those of you flipping around, halftime of the Pac-12 game, this is what you missed, and this is the turning point of the game. A blocked field goal by Ball State's Jimmy Daw. That would have made it a 10-point lead for Buffalo, and from that point, it's been pretty much all Ball State.
Well, the deep pass and then the sack strip. This is just before half. Ball State returns it for the touchdown, and they've really had the momentum. They've stopped this run. They had an extra field goal here in the second half.
Here's a catch by Davis at about the 30. This is an offense that has passed and run pretty much balanced right down the line.
The formations, they've done about everything, getting the ball to the outside. We see the jet sweeps. We see the interior runs by Ty Evans and company. I think it's important here, Clay, to keep running some time off this clock if you're Ball State.
Nothing there for Jones. And it's going to be 3rd down and 2 as Malcolm Kuntz makes another tackle. Lang in there as well.
Ball State going to get up to the line quick here.
An RPO. Plitt hands it off. Nothing as the Buffalo defense stands tall. And the Cardinals go 3 and out.
And I didn't like the tempo right there. I mean, that's a critical 3rd down and short. I think you want to give your offense a little bit of time to get a breath and get your perfect play called. Just kind of ran up to the line, and Buffalo was not fooled. They get the tackle for loss.
Just a test of wills right now. These defenses doing their part. Just hoping that the offense can get it going. So Buffalo's set to get it back. We'll see if we get Jared Patterson back into this game. Cook steps out of a tackle at the 18, coming to the near side. And he is going to be whipped down by Evans. Boy, Ty Evans does so much for this team. Even making an impact on special teams. Can't make it to the playoff in Miami. Join us virtually for the College Football Playoff All Access experience featuring exclusive content and the chance to win prizes. Register tonight at collegefootballplayoff.com/all access. So Kevin Marks comes out of the huddle as the running back.
And he has the ability. 182 yards on the ground last week. It's been an exceptional 1-2 punch with Patterson being out.
It's Trevor Wilson. Good run after the catch, and that's a 1st down. Dinma was right there, couldn't wrap him up.
And you can just tell the respect that Ball State has for these wide receivers, even though they don't throw the ball much. There's Patterson on the sideline. He put the brace on the right knee and is trying to get used to it down there.
Here's a good run for Marks. Gets to the outside. Goodbye. Kevin Marks, exactly what Buffalo needed. A 67-yard touchdown run.
And what a shot of adrenaline that this team from Buffalo desperately needed. Haven't gotten much going on offense lately. And then Kevin Marks just makes something out of nothing. Looks like he stopped right there. And then look at the cut to the outside, then the speed play. Exceptional speed on Marks with a hammer of a touchdown.
And Buffalo is back in this one late here in the 3rd quarter. They cut it to a 10-point deficit. It's a quick 2-play, 78-yard drive.
Run up the middle, then the quick bounce to the outside. And then the Jets. Got to have it, speed. Can't buy it, got to have it. Kevin Marks, an exceptional player.
Let's go down to Katie for more on Marks.
Well, Clay, you mentioned earlier in the first half that Kevin Marks grew up with Keontae Johnson, the young man that we saw collapse in his Florida game a week ago. Well, he said he saw the news right before he played Akron a week ago, and he almost decided that he was going to opt out of that game just because it was too emotional. It was too much to handle. He said he immediately sent a message to Keontae just to tell him that he was thinking about him. Of course, he did not get a response. He said that there was just a lot of emotions, highs and lows this past week, but he said he was so grateful to see that Johnson was removed from a coma. He is now breathing on his own, and he's progressing well. He said that they grew up in the same neighborhood. They went to the same elementary school. He calls him a neighborhood hero, having watched him grow into a future lottery pick. And I think that Leipold said it best. You never know what these players are going through on the side. You don't know what they're battling. And to see Marks go out there and show some mental strength and perform at an incredible level against Akron really was a testament to Marks and just who he is as a person.
Yeah, and on top of that, he was wearing that special number 41, which is also an emotional thing. And the Norfolk, Virginia native really responded well. He is responding well again tonight in a tough situation where Jared Patterson, at least for now, has been knocked out of this game.
And emotionally, that can be a drain on an offense, on a whole football team. When your best player, literally the MAC player of the year, is on the sideline, can't contribute, you need someone to step up big, someone to step up now, and Kevin Marks did that.
Drew Plitt and Ball State have responded well after Buffalo scores all night. They throw it out to the fullback, Cody Rudy. He'll make that catch and get out of bounds. Rudy is considered probably the best all-around football player on this Ball State team.
He's a football player. He blocks, he catches the ball at times. Whatever you need him to do, Cody Rudy's ready to do it. This Buffalo defense seems to be invigorated right now, really flying around.
Play action, rolling to his right. Plitt getting some pressure, dumps it off short. And that is the tight end, Dylan Cook. Nothing there, great coverage. Downfield, good pressure in the backfield, and it's third down. By the way, Keontae Johnson, the Florida basketball player, has gone to social media for an update on his health, and it's all positive from what we understand here just tonight. So that is outstanding as everybody's praying for him.
Still no Johannes Tyler for Ball State.
Third down and 7. Plitt dancing, throws, and that's behind the receiver. Dangerous spot on the field. Lands incomplete, and again, Ball State will have to punt with 6 seconds to go in the quarter.
And Drew Plitt had played an exceptional first half, but Clay, that's 2 drives in a row with an errant throw that got them off the field on third down. That ball was just behind Will Jones. He hits him on the numbers. Will Jones picks up that first down.
So here's Nathan Snyder on to punt again. Ron Cook, the all-conference return man, standing at the 32-yard line of Buffalo. And he's going to call for the fair catch. So that's where Buffalo will have it to start the fourth quarter. Buffalo.
This is the end of the fourth.
Outscoring Ball State in that quarter 7-3. It's a 10-point game going to the final 15 minutes in the MAC title game. Big weekend on ABC. Dr. Pepper Big 12 title game, the ACC championship, and the American. Can't wait for tomorrow. Tonight here, though, in the Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship, part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. It's a 10-point game, Ball State leading, but the momentum has shifted to Buffalo after a couple of Ball State 3-and-outs.
Now with just still being a 10-point game, Buffalo's run game is still a big factor.
First play of the fourth quarter, Kyle Van Treese loads up, going deep. Has a man, and it is Intercepted. Picked off by Antonio Phillips. Got his hands in there and just took it away from Wilson.
What a Houdini-type catch from Phillips.
Rolling on the field is an interception. First down, Ball State.
I mean, Phillips looks like he is beat. Right there, look at the separation. He's like he's beat, just a little underthrown. He just grabs it, wrestles it away from Antonio Nunn. As a defensive back, as a cornerback, Clay, you're going to get beat sometimes. You just can't give up on the play. You got to keep fighting, scratching, clawing. And a great play by a veteran cornerback in Antonio Phillips.
The second turnover for Buffalo tonight, and it's a big one. On the first play of the fourth quarter, as Plitt rushes ahead for about 6 yards.
And that's the thing with their defense, Clay. They're going to give up some yards in the air, going to give up some yards on the ground, but all season consistently, they've gotten the sacks, they've gotten the takeaways, they've gotten the tackles for loss, and here getting the ball back to their offense. 2 extra possessions tonight, critical.
Just the 5th turnover all season for Buffalo, but they've had 2 tonight, and that was nearly picked off after a deflection. Johannes Tyler back in the game now for Ball State. He was the intended man. Was nearly intercepted in the secondary.
There's a run-pass option, and it was a good read by Plitt, pulling that ball, trying to get it to the slant. The linebacker creeps up, maybe just a little bit behind Tyler, but he's got to come up with that ball. He's usually so good at that, making those tough catches.
So Ball State trying not to go 3 and out again. Pressure, Plitt slides up, avoids it, now throwing on the run, and he's intercepted. Picked off by James Patterson, and Buffalo has it right back. But a flag was thrown, so hold on. We'll see if this is going to wipe out the defensive play or if it came after the interception.
The ruling on the field is an interception. After the play, dead ball, personal foul. Intercepting team number 31. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Also, sideline warning for Buffalo. There's no foul assessed on that. First down, Buffalo.
Now the penalty is on Gaddafi right. The interception is going to stand. It's the first turnover tonight for Ball State.
Just a bad decision by Plitt. Intercepted by Patterson. I think he got hit late. Watch 31 come in. That's where the penalty right here. And Clay, how many times have we talked about it? Drew Plitt, great player, does a great job leading this offense, but it's always one play a game. He has that one play a game where you're like, oh, just that bad interception or that bad throw. And there it was, just not a good decision. Throwing that ball across the body as he's trying to escape to his right.
The game against Western Michigan last week, his first game of the year without an interception. The pick rears its ugly head here in the fourth quarter as Jared Patterson is back on the field for the Bulls. A great sign for Buffalo fans as we go down to Katie.
Well, there was some back and forth on this Buffalo sideline. They first put Jarrett Patterson in their knee brace on his right knee, but then he didn't feel comfortable as he did a couple sprints over here, so he took it off. Well, now he is back in that knee brace. Lance Leipold double-checked with him to make sure he was good to go before re-entering the game. Hopefully he can provide a spark in this drive.
Did you ever have to wear a knee brace?
I have. I've had to put one on mid-game, and again, it just feels so weird, so funny going to that thing without some time to get used to it.
Pass is high for Van Treese, incomplete.
And especially, Clay, sorry, for a thoroughbred like Patterson who runs the way he does, now all of a sudden you're putting that knee brace on. It's tough, but I'll give that man a lot of credit. Coming back in this game with the MAC title on the line, he could just sit the rest of this thing out and still have a great season. Love the fact that he's at least trying to get back and contribute here.
The nation's leading rusher at over 200 yards per game has been held to 48 on 18 carries. And he's been compared to Barry Sanders, Maurice Jones-Drew. He's not an NFL future, many think. That pass behind Nunn, incomplete, and Buffalo is facing fourth down.
And Antonio Nunn, 8 receptions. He's been huge tonight, and he just drops it. Wide open on the slant. missed opportunity there for Buffalo.
Boy, it looks like they're going to go for it here on 4th and 7 at the 43.
4th and 7. If you're Ball State, you got to find Antonio Nunn. He's in the slot. You have third wide receiver from the top of the screen.
And now we might get a timeout here. Yes, Buffalo calls a timeout, maybe to second guess this decision to go for it on 4th and 7 with 13:24 to play.
Rocket Mortgage MAC Championship is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. For the personalized playbook on home loans, Rocket can.
There have been some great coaches in the MAC over the years. Interesting coaching decision here for Lance Leipold. 4th down and 7 at the 44 of Ball State. Down by 10. They're keeping the offense on the field.
I don't love this. Your defense has forced 3 3-and-outs and an interception here. 4th and 7. I don't like this call.
Jared Patterson on the sideline with a sore knee, and this is not a surprise, really. Kyle Van Treese, you talked about it earlier in the game, punted last year after Evan Finnegan got injured. Very nice pooch punt all the way down inside the 2.
And that is the exact right play there. As I mentioned, your defense, 3 3-and-outs, then you get the interception. They're playing great, a lot of momentum, just pin them back. Excellent job. Way to play the field position. Let's see if Drew Plitt, who just coming off the interception, has a 99-yard drive in him.
So the last 4 drives, 3 3-and-outs, and a turnover for Ball State. They're backed up deep in their own end. They're trying to get a little breathing room with the running game. So now, for Ball State, we talked about this at the top of the broadcast, Rocky. Sustaining drives would be key for this team to pull off an upset tonight. They really need to sustain a drive here.
They have to, because you want to keep Buffalo's offense on the sideline, the way Kevin Marks is running the ball and the way Van Treese has played tonight.
Another run. This is Big Ty Evans. You know, when you need some breathing room away from that goal line, you go to the guy who's 6'2", 240. Built like a fullback. His dad, Tyrone, was a professional wrestler. Michael Tarver, you might remember that name if you're a WWE fan.
Who is it? Right?
He's a tough one, too.
And we got, remember, Johannes Tyler is back in the game. He's to the top of your screen. A lot of cushion up there.
This is a big 3rd down. Evans. Good run, and he's got the 1st down all the way out to the 15. Exactly what the Cardinals needed.
What a gutsy play call, Clay. Buffalo's defense, they think the pass is coming. Nope, you hand it off to your running back, your big running back, Ty Evans. Love that play call there.
And we talked about the family history for Ty Evans. Here's Big Tyrone.
I love it. Look at the pipes.
Are you a big wrestling fan?
Yes.
He was Mike Tyson's sparring partner. I did not know that.
That is exceptional.
Who wants that job?
How much money would it take for Clay Macvick to get in the ring and spar with Iron Mike? Think about it after the break. We'll get the answer.
You'll be waiting with bated breath, I'm sure. Welcome back to the Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship. Part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week, a 10-point lead, under 12 to go. Ball State trying to win its first MAC championship in 24 years. Mike New, a former player of the year in this league. He's won a MAC championship as a player. That was back in the 90s. Yeah. It's been a long time since the team from Muncie has won a championship in this league. And Buffalo came into this game heavy favorites, but they've been playing catch-up here in the second half. First 5-0 start since 1980. Lance Leipold's team was in this title game 2 years ago. Lost to Northern Illinois, even though they were favored in that one. Down here by 10. 1st down and 10. And here's Will Jones getting a turn for this running game, which has really worked hard tonight. for Ball State.
And let's talk about Mike New. Remember last year we talked about they lose 3 games by a combined 8 points. He's actually on the hot seat coming into this season. And he has put together quite a year. They lose the opener to Miami, who was the MAC champions last year. And then they've just went ahead and rattled off 5 straight wins to get to Detroit.
Another handoff for Jones, just picking his way ahead. This will be 3rd down and 4 coming up. New in his 5th year, just 49 years old. He's been in coaching a long time, coached in the Arena League and in the NFL before returning to Ball State, where he was the MAC Offensive Player of the Year as a quarterback in 1993. This is going to be a penalty.
This is critical. It's on Ball State, and all of a sudden now it's a 3rd and 9.
False start, offense number 77, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Caleb Slavin, the left tackle, 4-year starter at Delta High School in Muncie. Don't forget, tomorrow 4 Eastern on ABC, number 3 Clemson, number 2 Notre Dame. You know, everybody's saying that even if Notre Dame loses, they're still in the college football playoff. You believe that?
I agree with that, as long as they don't get blown out, right? I mean, if Clemson goes ahead and beats them by 30 or 40 or something, that's a different conversation, but close game either way, I think Notre Dame's in.
Platt avoids the pressure on 3rd down, trying to pick it up with the pass, and he throws complete. No, they're going to say incomplete. He was out of bounds. Davis disagrees. He says, look at the replay. I had my feet in. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Let's get Matt Austin's opinion on this.
Originally, it looked like the inside foot was inbounds, but I can't tell if the other foot was out of bounds first.
And Matt, it seems like it's going to come down to the situation. Yeah, and it's, you know, whatever the call was on the field, not enough evidence to be able to overturn it.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to review
a game.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I do think the foot came down out of bounds before the other foot came down inbounds.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout. Ball State there first.
So Ball State calls a timeout, and I think that was the right call. We're going to step aside. 10:27 to go. Ball State trying to hang on here in Detroit.
They're first.
All right, back here at Ford Field, where they just looked at that last no catch. The call stood, but it was really close. I mean, let's bring Matt Austin in on here. Matt, what did you see?
Looking at it again, I think this is a catch. He has stuck the ball. His left toe is dragging right there. Then he goes out of bounds. I would have overturned this to a catch, but the replay official, since the call on the field was incomplete, he didn't feel he had enough to overturn.
And to me, that's what it was, Matt, is there indisputable video evidence. And I just feel like sometimes when we got to look at it and slow-mo it and see it 2 or 3 times, it's just hard. I know they don't want the officials officiating the game from the booth. They want it happening on the field, and it could have gone either way, but to me, there wasn't the indisputable video evidence.
So instead of a 1st down and a chance to sustain the drive and continue to eat up some clock, Ball State has to punt, and on top of that, they give Buffalo really good field position, and we have seen Jared Patterson make a return to this game. You expect that he's probably starting to feel better by the minute.
Yeah, that's huge if they can get him back, but it's Marks in the game now.
They're going to throw to Nunn. Antonio Nunn almost slipped a tackle at the 40-yard line. He's pulled down at the 39. First down.
Yeah, great tight window throw by Van Treese. Made some heck of throws tonight. Just outside the linebacker, underneath the cornerback.
Van Treese 19 of 25 now, as you look at Nunn's numbers. Just an excellent night for the passing game for Buffalo, which came in the #1 rushing offense in the country. They've relied on the right arm of Van Treese. They do again here. That's a 1st down and more. Down to the 21, it is Antonio Nunn.
Antonio Nunn, one-on-one coverage. Just a good job. You're threatened by his speed. You can tell Ball State doesn't want to get beat deep. I get it, right? But then he just puts the foot in the ground. I think right now, Clay, this is an important opportunity for Buffalo's offensive line. They've been great so far this year. Time for them to take this game over.
278 yards through the air. They go to Nunn again. He sits down at the 16 after a pickup of about 7.
I don't know if anybody thought Antonio Nunn would be getting 11 receptions on the night coming into this.
Van Treese, all kinds of time to throw. Goes to Wilson. It's deflected, and it lands incomplete. Plenty of contact there, but no penalty flag. It was actually Zach Lefebvre, the intended receiver. Jalen Thomas, the linebacker, went back in coverage.
And I like the idea. Go to your 6'6" tight end, and I'm okay with that no call there. You know, I might have been a little contact, but I'm okay with the no call.
Buffalo has not been great on 3rd down tonight. Marks up the middle, won't have it. A 4th down and about 2 coming up.
Again, that's where you really want that Buffalo offensive line to just start blowing some bodies off the line of scrimmage and get that 3rd down conversion.
Now I got a player down. This is Jack Sape, who made that tackle earlier in the game against Jared Patterson that forced him out with the injury. Now he's injured with 8:44 to go. Good one here in the MAC title game in Detroit. 10-point game. It's been scoreless here in the 4th quarter. Big 4th down coming up for Buffalo. If you're looking for Lakers Suns, it's over on ESPN2. So Alex McNulty attempted a field goal earlier in this game, Rocky. It was blocked.
Yeah, I agree with going for it on 4th down here. Your kicker's 0 for 2 on the season. Missed one, had one blocked earlier. You got to go for it here.
They are 0 for 1 on 4th down tonight. They need 2 yards. Van Treese looking to throw. Has a man open and backpedaling. The receiver can't haul it in. Kevin Marks.
And Kevin Marks gave a signal, something like he couldn't see. I thought he got his body kind of contorted. If he just continues to run outside, he starts to backpedal. It got him off balance and was not able to make the catch. See what I'm saying there, right? If he just keeps running toward the sideline, Van Treese puts the ball in the money. Instead, he starts backpedaling. It throws him all out of whack.
It's like there was a glare on his shield or something, and he didn't see the ball. So Ball State takes over on downs. Running backs only used really in the run game. Coming into the night, the running backs had caught 2 passes all year for Buffalo. So Marks, a little unfamiliar there as far as what to do in that situation.
Exactly,
maybe that also played a role.
That's a great point you make. They're not used much in the pass game. And Coach told us that we don't throw the ball much to our wide receivers. We can't start throwing the ball to our backs so much. They could have used one right there, though.
So now again, Ball State trying to sustain a drive.
Wildcat.
There's Hall. Big run out to the 36-yard line. That's what Ball State needed.
Wow. That's a deflating run for Buffalo with the Wildcat. First time we've seen it. And now it's time for Ball State's offensive line. And their wide receivers make some blocks and they make it happen.
Another injury timeout. A Buffalo players shaken up. First drive of the 2nd half was a turnover on downs for Buffalo. Just had another turnover on downs, and now we'll see if Ball State can make them pay as Woods is up on his feet. The selection show, Sunday, noon Eastern. It's going to be big.
Yeah, it's
They'll
just,
explain it all 4 hours will be fun and entertaining.
With so many ups and downs this year and canceled games and all that, to have us finally be here. And I think the guy on the right, his picks are a little better than the guy on the left, but I don't know. What do you think?
Well, the ones on the left are what I think it's going to be on Sunday. It's not what it is right now. I think this is how it's going to look on Sunday.
I still on my small soapbox here, making a case for the Bearcats. And their season they've had.
Evans, another strong run. He's going to get about 7. on that carry. You know, it's disappointing for Cincinnati. I think all fans of the MAC, all fans of the group of 5 teams should be disappointed at what happened for Cincinnati. I think that the College Football Playoff Committee made a decision. You know, they dropped them in the rankings even though they didn't play, just in case there was chaos at the top, that there would be no way Cincinnati would get in. What do you think?
I agree. And you put a 2-loss Georgia team and a 2-loss Iowa State team ahead of them. I mean, I understand Iowa State's playing better. They're a great football team, but they also lost by 17 to Louisiana. I mean, the game, we play the games for a reason.
I agree with you. Big first down for Evans. Boy, the offense has certainly done its part here tonight. But let's go back to the Ball State defense to get it to this spot. That was a huge stop in the red zone.
Huge stop, and that's where they've been great all year, especially last week. Western Michigan held the ball most of that game. They're marching up and down the field between the 20s, but they've been able to solidify in the red zone.
They made really good second half adjustments last week. Good adjustments here this week. They have held Buffalo to 7 points here in the second half.
It's important for Ty Evans to maintain possession of that football. They're going to start ripping away at it.
The middle, Evans, not much. Like you said, they're trying to rip it. They know that they need to get the football back in a hurry, and we got a timeout.
Charge timeout, Buffalo. Their second. 30 seconds.
So Buffalo has one timeout remaining now with 6:01 to go. You talked about it earlier that the MAC was the first FBS conference to cancel its season and the last to come back. You know, we were talking to Buffalo players this week, and they were very outspoken about needing to play. They went to social media back in August and said if the Big Ten can play, we think we should be able to. And they said they were very grateful that the MAC was able to figure out a way that everyone could be safe and get the players out on the field, and so happy to be here tonight.
And Clay, you make a great point, because I think the players being vocal help that. And when the players say, hey, let's go, we want to play, that rings in the minds of the John Steinbreckers of the world, and I'm thankful they got this season going.
Another Wildcat snap to Justin Hall. Went airborne and then forced back. It'll be third down at the midfield line. Big hit by Tyree Thompson. That clock is running, and that's what Ball State wants right now, up by 10.
Buffalo having to use that second timeout earlier. That's huge. They only have one left in a 10-point ball game. And boy, what a critical opportunity here for Ball State. If they get a conversion here, it's making it very, very tough on Buffalo to come back in this game.
Now they're not going to get the first down. Jones is collared at about the 47-yard line.
Charge timeout, Buffalo.
And another timeout, the last timeout for Buffalo. And there's a lot of time left, 5:11, but now Buffalo's out of timeouts.
And you wonder if on the Ball State sideline right now, Clay, does Mike New have the guts to go for it on fourth? I don't agree with it, but you wonder if he's thinking about it a little bit, because you know if they convert on 4th and 4, this game is about over. I still say you punt this ball away, but I know the conversation is being had.
Or do you do what Buffalo did?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Try to pin them deep. I'm not saying you pooch punt, but I think flipping the field right now is a wise move, leading by 10. If it was 7, maybe a little different.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. Especially the way your defense has played tonight. They've answered the bell.
So Ball State maybe just over 5 minutes away from their first championship in this league in 24 years, 1996. That's a long time ago. Mike New, he's come back to Ball State trying to rebuild the program he once played for.
I don't see a punter out on that field. Here we go.
Drew Plitt's going to go under center, maybe just trying to draw Buffalo off. That's the ploy. And now Mike New calls the timeout.
Timeout, Buffalo, their second. 30
Ball
seconds.
State timeout. They've got one left. Here's the trophy. Last year went to Miami.
Correction, charge timeout, Ball State, their second.
And I don't know why you call a timeout there. Don't you just take the delay a game, move it back 5 yards, and keep 2 timeouts when you may need that late in the game? I don't understand that. Especially if you trust your punter.
There's Mike New. It's not that long ago he was the quarterback coach for Drew Brees.
And Mike New has been everywhere, right? Arena League, college football, pro football.
They're going to be going to a bowl game for the first time since 2013's Go Daddy Bowl. They've never won a bowl game. That'll be the next thing that Mike New wants to check off. Hey, they are going to pooch punt. And not a bad one for Drew Plitt. He puts Buffalo inside the 5. We knew that was in Van Treese's arsenal, but not necessarily Drew Plitt's.
Maybe the play of the game. Ball State. He's done it with his arm tonight. Done a good job leading this offense. Boy, almost let it sneak in that end zone there. And now, look at the reaction here. A little swing, a little 9-iron. I don't know what that was, but it looked cool.
He has played so well tonight.
He has.
Now, he did have the one interception. It's kind of par for the course for Drew. But all in all, a terrific night. Now, can Buffalo get something going in a hurry? Here's a pass complete onto the sideline for Van Treese. Wilson makes the catch and quickly moved the sticks. No timeouts, time working against the Buffalo Bulls. The favorites in this game by almost 2 touchdowns.
And I think for Van Treese, you're peppering the sidelines unless you have something wide open in the middle of the field where you can get the first down.
Just reminded about how good this offense was coming into the game. 52 points per game.
Yeah, it's been amazing. #1 scoring offense in the MAC. Ball State with a couple turnovers. And they've really done a good job. We got to keep saying that, of stopping this rushing attack by Buffalo.
.447 to go. Second down. Van Treese. Pass is caught. Wilson trying to get out of a tackle. Can't. Cosby doing a great job on the outside. He has been so fun to watch this year defensively for Ball State.
Quietly, he's been one of their best defensive players.
3rd down and 4. Here's Nunn. And trying to keep him in bounds is Uzo Dinma. And won't do a first down. That'll stop the clock.
And I was wondering why Uzo Dinma didn't try to tackle him, try to keep him in balance there.
Van Treese. That's complete to the 30. Passes to the middle of the field.
Yeah, see,
those are going to be tough now for Buffalo.
I mean, you can take a shot in the middle of the field if it's a little bit deeper. You know you're going to get the first down, so the clock is going to stop. But a lot of time is going to waste away here.
Pressure coming, and that one's going to sail incomplete. He wanted Wilson. As we're under 4 minutes to go. You know, Buffalo, once they got behind, it seemed like their whole constitution changed.
Yeah, they've been playing because they've been playing all year with a lead. They get the lead, they get up on you early, and they just keep pounding that run. Really just got them out of their MO.
Such a big year for Buffalo. Everything that Jared Patterson has done, ranked for the first time in program history, but they've got to scramble here late. They want to pull this one out. They get out of bounds with the tight end LaFave to stop the clock. With 3:51 to go.
Still important for Ball State. Don't let anything get behind you here. The worst thing can happen is a big play that's going to A, score, and B, leave more time on the clock.
Jared Patterson has been a non-factor in this game. That is nearly intercepted. Right through the fingers of Cosby, who we were just talking about, and that would have been the death knell for the Bulls.
That would have been it. Let's keep that play in our memory here. Buffalo's able to mount a comeback. He reads it all the way. Good job, zone coverage. You just read the quarterback. When the quarterback's offhand breaks from the ball, you break. Can't come down with it.
Lefebvre will come in motion. 2nd and 10. Inside handoff, and Ball State was ready for it. Marks had nowhere to go up the middle. And this Tyler Stockton defense continues to play well in crunch time. That tackle made by Jack Sape.
Jack Sape's played a heck of a football game as well.
Now 3rd and 11. And Treese to the outside, underthrown. Nunn made the catch,
but he stayed in
short
bounds.
of the first down, and he didn't get out of bounds.
Some more. This clock's going to click below 3 minutes. He definitely caught that ball.
They'll try to pick it up on the ground, and they hit the ball carrier Marks behind the line of scrimmage. Jalen Thomas with the tackle of his season. Wow. And Ball State's going to take over on downs and a chance to run out the clock.
Clay, a linebacker's judged on the plays you make behind the line of scrimmage, and he doesn't second guess himself. He sees the ball carrier and he goes and attacks it right now and drops Marks on the field and gets the ball back to their offense.
Nobody in the conference has more tackles who's actively playing than Jalen Thomas, and that might be the biggest one he's had in his career.
And right now, Buffalo, Kevin Marks stunned. Buffalo with no timeouts.
And now it's all about running out the clock. Evans take it ahead.
And one more first down, and that's going to be it.
How about these Ball State Cardinals?
Yeah, you just get the feeling that all year they've played, they said, this is our year, right? They believed in themselves, team of destiny, whatever you want to call it. And they come out tonight, a 14-point underdog, I think it was. And right now look poised to shock the college football world.
They had a 2-10 season in 2017. Wow. It's not that long ago. A lot of these players, including Drew Plitt, were a part of that team. Now, just a couple of minutes away from a championship. And it'll be 3rd down here. As Evans is stacked up. This is what Ball State is hoping to achieve tonight. Their first MAC championship victory since 1996. This is their first title game appearance since 2008.
First winning season since 2013. A crazy year. Get started late, and then they lose the opener in dramatic fashion against Miami, and then they just rattle off wins to get to Detroit, and now look poised to win the whole thing.
Ball State, I think, is going to use their last time out here.
30-second charge timeout, Ball State. Their third.
A minute 21 to go. Buffalo out of timeouts. And Mike New, who came back to Ball State to coach his alma mater, is ready to bring the first MAC football championship game trophy back to Muncie. A lot of missed opportunities tonight for Buffalo. And the game really turned on this play, the blocked field goal that Jimmy Daw got a piece of.
Clay, I agree with you, because Buffalo's getting ready to lay the hammer down, and then they don't convert on 3rd down. Jimmy Daw again. And then that was a critical 4th down conversion that they missed. And then Jalen Thomas with another 4th down stop.
Drew Plitt sprints out on 3rd down. He's going to be hit. 4th down. And Ball State's not going to be able to burn all of the clock. It wouldn't appear on this drive unless they can pick up a 4th down here. 4th and 12 coming up.
We'll let this thing go all the way down. And I think they're just going to let it go all the way down, probably take the penalty, and then punt this thing away.
we didn't know how they would do it. How would they take Jared Patterson out of his football game? But they managed to keep him in check. They have sustained drives enough throughout this game to really put Buffalo's offense in the deep freeze through big stretches of this game.
Delay a game offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down. By rule, this calls for a 10-second runoff. Buffalo has declined the runoff. 4th down.
So it'll still be 35 seconds to go as the runoff is declined. The Buffalo offense coming in 344 rushing yards per game, 135 tonight.
Incredible.
They've done well through the air, but they've been forced to pass more than they wanted to.
But I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. As a coach, you take away the other team's best option. And if you're going to lose the game, you say, look, hey, they came out with their second and third option and were able to beat us tonight. But just a great job shutting down that run game.
Declined the penalty. 4th down.
So Buffalo's going to get it back, but they're not going to have any time left and no timeouts. Down 10. It's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and that's not exactly what Nathan Snyder wanted to do.
Yeah, we wanted that ball to bounce around a little bit, try to get inside the 10.
So 27 seconds to go. Ball State poised to win a championship here in Detroit tonight.
In the conversation on the Ball State sideline right now amongst that defense is nothing behind us. We can't let anything get over our heads. And right now, a 80-yard touchdown, real quick, is about the only thing that can do them in. Deep safety here, playing 25 yards off the ball. Nothing over top.
Van Treese. Incomplete. 23 seconds to go. Even without Caleb Huntley, when he went down with that injury, Rocky, it seemed like that was going to doom Ball State, but it didn't.
Because remember, I mean, you go back to the beginning of the season, this was Caleb Huntley's offense, right? They were a run-first team, but as he went out, they were able to kind of morph a little bit. Drew Plitt took over and got the wide receivers involved. And then tonight, with Ty Evans and Will Jones, especially Ty Evans, in the run game have been huge.
18 carries, 94 yards for Evans tonight. He was the workhorse. Van Treese, standing tall, throws, and getting out of bounds is Ruiz to stop the clock with 15 seconds to go.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 9. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
So both of these teams will be going to bowl games. In fact, they're the only teams from the MAC who will be representing the league in bowl games. We won't know exactly which team is going where.
Penalty will be added to the end of the play. 1st down.
I was going to say that's a critical penalty there, getting 15 extra yards added on. Still just 15 seconds, but
yeah, that puts it at the 48. So a chance for Van Treese to get to the end zone, and there still would be some time on the clock, you'd think, to recover an onside kick.
You could, maybe you get a big chunk yardage play, try to kick the field goal here too. That's an option.
Van Treese over the middle, then got it to LaFave. LaFave staying in bounds, and he's tackled at the 27-yard line. That is not what he wanted to do. And I don't think they're going to get up to the line.
Clock stops.
That's going to be the last play. Incomplete. Ball State wins it. And they can come on the field, unlike last week when they were told to go back to their sideline. The 2020 MAC champions, the Cardinals of Ball State, their first league title in 24 years.
The improbable MAC champions. Mike New led this team, a veteran bunch, and they just got better play as the season went on. Tyler Stockton, that defense tonight, incredible, and just you got to be ecstatic for Mike New. Hung in there and captures the MAC title for Ball State.
263 yards passing, 3 touchdowns Drew Plitt also ran for one. Mike New, in his 5th year, wins a title as the trophy goes back to Muncie. Coming up next, the Lakers and the Suns. For Katie George and Rocky Boyman, I'm Clay Matvick. So long from Detroit.
Thanks for watching this special presentation of ESPN, home of the college football playoff semifinals on New Year's Day.
Thanks for joining us on ESPN3 and the ESPN app. The Ball State Cardinals celebrating the Rocket Mortgage MAC Championship victory, 38-28 over Buffalo. They came in almost 2-touchdown underdogs, but they stopped the vaunted Buffalo running game tonight, especially the leading rusher in the country, Jared Patterson. Drew Plitt with a terrific performance at quarterback, and Ball State champions of this league for the first time since 1996.
And you mentioned Drew Plitt. I thought he was phenomenal tonight, leading this offense. Came in a very confident player. Johannes Tyler early on with a touchdown. And then just finding Tyler again. They were able to sprinkle in some runs, but Plitt made the key passes when the opportunity presented itself, and that was a huge factor tonight.
He did throw one interception, but all in all, one of the best games he's had this year. He was in command. This team took a punch early. Buffalo came out and scored on the opening series, but Ball State, even though they got swung at quite a bit by that Buffalo offense in the first half, they never really flinched.
And you make a good point, because so many opponents of Buffalo this year, they've got behind early and they say, oh boy, here we go, and they just kind of get all the energy sucked out of them. But Ball State answered. For that opening drive, 5 plays, boom, into the house for the touchdown. But just kept coming back. They get the blocked field goal and then the interception return for a touchdown. Magnificent.
38-28 the final. Ball State wins it. Let's go down to Katie George, who's with the coach.
Mike, it's been quite the 5-year journey for you at Ball State. In 2017, a lot of these guys finished 2-10. Now you have a MAC championship next to your names. How does this feel?
I'm so proud of these kids, man, for staying the course, for just committing to hard work. There is no substitute for hard work. We had some ugly losses back in 2017, had a lot of scars, and these kids just fought their tail off. And it's fitting the way we won this football game in the second half by fighting, scratching, clawing. These kids deserve all the credit, and we're fired up to bring the first championship back in 24 years.
You're emotional. Why?
I love this place. I love Ball State University. I know a couple years back, we probably lost some supporters. We probably lost a few supporters, but we stayed the course, and I appreciate President Mearns. I appreciate Beth Getz for believing in us and allowing us to continue to grow this program, and it's awesome to be a MAC champion.
Buffalo came into this game averaging 52 points. They had the best rushing offense in the country. What did you think of the efforts from your defense for 4 quarters?
Our defense does not get enough credit, and they just continue to make plays in critical situations. We've done that every game here for the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks now, and so our kids just fight, scratch, and claw. The leadership on the defensive side of the ball is special. Talking about our Defensive Player of the Year, and Brandon Martin, Bryce Cosby, Antonio Phillips, Christian Albright, so many of them, Jay Thomas. But those kids, we don't get enough credit from a defensive standpoint, and it's awesome to see what we were able to do to contain that offense, because it's very powerful, and our guys rose to the challenge.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you very much.
Boy,
go Cards.
Just raw emotion from Mike New.
God, you just love that. And think about it. This was a season that almost didn't happen, right? They canceled the season early on, the first conference to do so. But you tell me after watching it, was it all worth it? I say yes. Look at the emotion of Mike New out there. Look at these players on the field reacting the way they are. They're so thankful that this season was able to be played, and you cannot be happier for Ball State right now.
The 2020 MAC champions, almost a quarter century since the last one in Muncie. And this is the first time that they've won this championship game. In 1997 was the first time that they started playing a conference title game. They went to divisions and played a championship game, but that was the year after Ball State's last title. So this is special too, the chance to play for a championship in Detroit. That was the goal. Detroit or bust. They got it done here tonight, and it's a disappointing ending to an otherwise amazing season for Buffalo. They did some historic things, especially Jared Patterson, but tonight the run game just wasn't there.
Run game was shut down, and then that seemed to be the detriment, and all the credit goes to Ball State.
It's time now for the trophy presentation here at Ford Field. We go to our public address announcer, Jeff Shreve.
Now we begin our awards presentation. Presenting tonight's awards, our Mid-American Conference Commissioner, Dr. John Steinbrecher, accompanied by Casey Herbis, Chief Marketing Officer from Rocket Mortgage, title sponsor of the MAC Football Championship. Now let's recognize tonight's players of the game. First, announcing our offensive player of the game, Drew Plitt from Ball State. Congratulations on being tonight's offensive player of the game. Next, congratulations to Jimmy Dahl from Ball State on being named the defensive player of the game. And now for tonight's special teams player of the game, Nathan Snyder from Ball State. Congratulations to each of the 2020 Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship players of the game.
I love y'all boys. Got this because of you guys, man. Nice. Snyder. Big Snyder. Get in there, Joe Greenwood's the best long snapper in the nation.
And now Commissioner Steinbrecher will present the 2020 championship trophy to the Ball State Cardinals. Congratulations on winning the 2020 Rocket Mortgage MAC Football Championship.
First championship since 1996. And it is the 6th overall at Ball State, and it was a hard-fought win here tonight. They got down early, but then outscored Buffalo 28-7 in the second quarter. We talked about it before, Rocky, that it turned on that blocked field goal by Jimmy Daw, and then Ball State in the second half was completely dominant defensively. They held Buffalo, the #1 scoring offense in the country, the best rushing attack in the country, to 7 points.
And we knew that had to happen. If they were going to win this game, their defense had to show up, but no other defense in the MAC has been able to stop Buffalo all season. But you're right, the momentum, I think after that blocked field goal, it's like they started to believe, say, hey, we can do this. We just took a big-time punch from Buffalo. We held our own, held them off the board, and then a couple of series later, they get the sack strip that was returned for the touchdown, and the momentum just got on the side of that unit, and they carried it all the way through.
Now they're going to go to a bowl game. Not sure exactly which one yet. We'll find out in the next day or so. And Buffalo will be headed to a bowl as well to represent the MAC. It was a terrific Rocket Mortgage MAC title game 2020. Detroit, Ford Field. Drew Plitt, the star. Jimmy Daw, the star on defense. The trophy going to Muncie for the first time since 1996. For Rocky Boyman and Katie George, I'm Clay Matvick. So long from Motown. Congrats to the Cardinals.